of Philadelphia. I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Jeez, oh my God. It's only Wednesday. Oh, this is the Anthony Gargano Show. We're presented by Trumark Financial Credit Union. Trumark.com/PHLY to find out the credit union difference. In fact, you're going to meet today one of the great Delaware Valley people, the CEO of Trumark Financial Credit Union. Her name is Kelly Botti. We reference her all the time. She's awesome. She's a huge, 4for4 fan. She just wants to come in. They're one of our great sponsors that allows us to do such great work here at PHLY, and she just wants to talk about the birds, so she's coming in. We're going to do that. I got to tell you, I'm out of my mind. I know yesterday I said I've made a vow. Like, I could never be a monk. I could never take a vow of silence, for one, right? But I can't stick to anything. Like, I vow, I'm going to enjoy this journey of, this whole week. It's Wednesday, and I go, all right, like, just kick off, please. For the love of God, kick off. People haven't even gotten to New Orleans. Like, Philadelphia hasn't really descended upon New Orleans yet. That's yet to happen. The town is kind of on lockdown a little bit. There's a lot of media down there and the whole thing. But the teams, like the fans, they don't get down until Thursday. Like today, they'll start to trickle in tonight. But tomorrow is when everybody comes in and this town starts to pop. And then it'll be crazy. But I was thinking about this last night. I don't know what else to talk about the game. Like thinking about the game itself. I keep playing it over and over and over again. Eagles are better. Andy, Spags, Mahomes, I get it. Eagles are better. Eagles O-line. Eagles D-line. Eagles secondary. The matchup. Saquon. AJ. Devontae. Because I think Devontae's going to have a big game. I don't know how many times that could play in my head. I mean, this has nothing to do with the show or anything else. In my mind, I just want to play this. I'm dying for this game. It's such a great game, and you feel so good about it. I don't remember having this angst that I had 2 years ago or 6 years ago, or whatever it was, 8 years ago. I don't remember having angst like this impatience to play the game. I'm dying to see this game. VG, well, I don't remember. Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't remember having this kind of angst.
Is it angst or?
Not angst, but I'm restlessness.
Okay. Maybe it's because you feel so confident. You want to get to it.
I do feel confident.
Maybe that's why.
I do.
Let's get it. Let's do it.
I feel confident. Johnny Box! But he's a nut. I just want to play the game. Like, I don't know.
Poor Johnny Mark. So you know how it is with no commercial breaks. All the guy wants to do is run to the bathroom when he's on the show. You harass him every time.
Well, Johnny's got a little bladder.
Yeah.
He's got a small bladder, Johnny Mark.
He's like,
so he's
don't.
dying.
Yeah.
When he walks out of this show to do his show, he walks really fast.
It's a hustle.
Like, it's all hips, too.
He's like Olympic speed walking.
Yeah, and he's got the hips going.
They got it when you do that fast. It's
like
a
a
wiggle.
Yeah, like a fast waddle.
Yeah, he wiggles. Yeah, he should have the bottle.
He's got the waddle. Yeah.
Yeah, he should bring the bottle in the studio.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. The road trip bottle.
Yeah. Dude, I don't remember having this sort of restlessness the previous two times.
No,
I really want the game. Like, I want to kick off. I don't want to deal. Like, we're going to have fun, though. Tomorrow, we're going to be at Yards.
Yes.
Friday, we're going to be at Grand Cafe Lockweila. Saturday, we'll be at Primo's. So, like, we're going to have some fun over the next couple of days to help pass the time. other than that, like, I just want to freaking just kick off, please.
There's so many decisions to be made. There's so much work to be done. What are you talking about? Like, what flavors Primo hoagies you ordering? What cheeses are you getting for the game? There's a lot of work that you got to put into this.
Cheeses.
He's all about the food. All about the food.
There's a lot of stuff to go.
Not the game.
If I told you, I don't even know where I'm watching the game.
See, well, figure it out.
I don't even know. I have to call my cousin after the show. I have no idea.
You should call your cousin during the show.
He won't answer. He won't answer. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing. But the games, like the.
Well, what are you bringing? You can't just show up at your cousin's house without another. What are you bringing?
Where I'm at is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. I have no whether I'm home, my cousins, Tooches.
You've been doing pretty well the last couple of days.
I don't even know. It's irrelevant.
See, not to me. I have to be at my parents' house. They've won every playoff game there. If I don't go there, I'm going to be freaking out because I'm going to be changing up the atmosphere.
I get that. I mean, I get that. I do. I mean, I understand that piece of it. I don't have that, so it doesn't.
That uncertainty doesn't bother you.
Uncertainty of actually
where you're watching the game.
No,
who might be there.
No, well, I know there's no surprises.
Because Joey doesn't have any friends that might pop in that annoy you.
My cousin's worse than me. All right, there will be no. He won't have anybody. Like he's way worse than me. His cutoff, he would cut off some of our group friends if they're not paying attention to the game.
Spouses allowed?
Yeah, I mean, not rude, but listen, there's a decorum. Right? I've watched the game. It was funny. I was talking to this last night. So we had a basketball game last night. St. Margaret's, 9-1, baby.
You won?
Yeah. And the guy I coach with, a guy named Kevin Kelly, who I love, right? So Kevin.
Great name. I know Kevin Kelly. Everyone knows a Kevin Kelly.
Yes.
Great name.
So Kevin's father-in-law is Phil Anastasia.
Oh, wow.
The great sports writer.
Yeah.
Right? Brother of George Anastasia, who used to cover the Mob, right? Great guys. Phil's an awesome, great sports guy. We were talking about the game. So I'm talking to Kevin last night about this whole thing. And he's like, dude, he said, he goes 2 years ago, or he goes to 2018, we're all at the game. My sister-in-law, there's 3 minutes to go. Right? You understand, right? There's 3 minutes to go. My sister-in-law is telling me, talking about how Disney's prices are ridiculous and all this stuff. Oh. He said, I have her tuned out, but
he can't be doing that.
When you're sitting there and then all of a sudden it dawns on you that somebody's talking like this.
Then you can't tune it out.
And then he turned to her, he goes, listen to me. You got to be quiet. You got to give me 3.5 minutes, and you got to be quiet. All right? After the game, talk all Disney you want, all Mickey Mouse you want. But during the game, you got to be quiet. This 3.5, you got to be quiet. That's how my cousin's the same way. You can't.
Then you get it's been 5 minutes. You said 3.5 minutes. Because 3.5 minutes is 18 minutes. Right. But you said 3 minutes. It's been more than 3 minutes.
No, I that I could not deal with. That I could not deal with. When the game's on, first of all, I hate the Super Bowl.
You like when people?
Can I just tell you, I hate the Super Bowl. I completely hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate commercials. I hate halftime shows.
Have you ever been shush for the commercials? I've had people be like, shh, commercials on.
Can't shush.
Trying to hear the commercials.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I would kick him out of the house.
That's a violation.
Stone violation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
usually someone's partner or something.
What the Super Bowl has become is horrible. I get it. It's an American holiday, the whole thing, but it's freaking polluted, right? They polluted it. It's not a football game.
Well, 2 years ago, when the Eagles were in it last, when they had Rihanna, we had people over, friends over, who were just there to see Rihanna.
Yeah, to see,
and they were talking about her the whole game, and I'm like, "Yo, we're in a game right now."
Yeah. That would be, get out. I would be throwing people out.
I was mad.
If you're talking Rihanna,
Rihanna's kind of cool.
No, yeah, but it's the Super Bowl.
Freak out of here! Are you out of your mind?
Rihanna.
cares about Rihanna? It's the freaking Super Bowl. No.
I mean, if you're going to have a halftime, Rihanna's all right.
No.
Yeah, but
I'm
talk
out of
about it
all of
then.
It's all nonsense. It's all Kendrick Lamar. Get the freak out of here. Get out.
Big.
Go away.
It's a big.
All this. Here's what I hate, okay? Here's what I hate. I hate that pop culture, which I loathe, all right, has infiltrated what I love, which is sports.
Yeah.
It's infiltrated it. That God forbid they need to do a halftime show for the NFC Championship game, college football, the NCAA tournament. Like, whatever big event, they got to throw a musical thing in there. They got to have a fugazi celebrity, right? All that nonsense. They've infiltrated pop culture, which is trash, right? Just the worst of the worst. It's bad enough that freaking Kelsey is dating Taylor Swift, right? And you got to deal with that nonsense. But then it's all the other crap on top of it. All right? I don't really care. Get off my lawn. Yeah, get off my lawn, mother father.
Whoa, I thought you were going there.
Right.
I thought you were going there.
Get off my lawn. Yeah. All right? Stay out of sports. It's the only thing I have in life. Do I bother you about with your stupid, whatever award show or
Oh,
stupid
the Grammys a couple nights ago.
Yeah, blow it up. I don't care. I don't bother you. I don't talk about it. You enjoy it. That's what you like. God bless. Your housewives or whatever other nonsense trash that you watch, I don't say nothing. Just leave my sports alone.
I love this. This is great.
He sounds like Drake this year. Drake's super upset because Kendrick Lamar was just won record of the year for this Drake diss track. Drake. There's one person dreading the Super Bowl halftime show more than you is probably Drake this year.
Who cares? Okay, I don't care about Drake. All right. The only one never mind. I was going to bring up Kanye West's wife, but I'll leave that alone.
The one now? My God, what is going on with those two?
I mean, I just want sport. Like, I want a game. I don't want to enjoy the game. Right?
Yeah,
like
Casper saying you hate music and superheroes.
I do. I hate all of it. I hate it. When it comes to, because you know why? It infiltrates sports. Leave the sports alone.
Well, they go hand in hand, don't
they?
They
don't go hand in hand. No, we're hand in hand. What's hand in hand?
I mean, it's just the way it goes these days. It's like a crossover. They mash it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm railing against. They don't belong together. All right? They have there's nothing that should be left alone. I get because of everyone is a greedy mother father. It's all about let me try to get another quarter out of you.
Yeah,
right?
let's get as many eyes as we can.
All it is. And these owners, and hey, you give me a chance to make another $1, right? That I can bleed everybody dry. I'm going to do it, right? I get it. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's making their money. Players making their money. Everybody's making their money. I get it. I don't even care. Just leave me the freak alone. Let me enjoy the game.
Agreed.
You're not worried about what special guest appearances during Kendrick's set?
I don't watch the halftime show.
You don't? What do you do during the halftime show?
I wander. I get away from the television.
You pace. He's got a chalkboard. He's setting up plays for the second half.
No, I don't. I really don't. I'll go out and, maybe somebody smokes a cigar or whatever. I'll go outside. Yeah. I'll just get away from the television. I want nothing to do with a halftime show. Wow. I want nothing to do with any, first of all, the fact that it's so long drives me nuts because it throws off my rhythm.
Feels like an hour.
Right?
It's off my rhythm.
It does. Throws off my rhythm, and I'm not playing. All right? It throws off my rhythm. I hate everything about it. I would prefer, analysis, but I can't get analysis. I would prefer, what they should do, all right? The geniuses at Fox should do an alternate halftime show, all right? Where it doesn't have nothing to do with the stupid musical act.
Got some coaches in there, some former coaches.
Yes. And then you go for the people that actually like football.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a minority watching the football game. It's the minority. I get it. But maybe you have an alternate football halftime show.
Yeah.
For people like us.
Called the Meat Locker. The Meat Locker halftime show.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. whatever.
Baldy and Belichick in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in. Like, that I want. That would interest me. All right. And you'll have 30 minutes to talk about the first half and what's going to happen in the second half. Like, that I like.
Mm-hmm. I'd be into that. I'd watch that.
I'm into that.
Have an alternate. They have an alternate
They do.
everything.
That is a curious question because they have, like Monday Night Football, there's like 3 different versions of it.
Look, this
Or the
one.
NFC, all the NCAA playoff games, there was like 4 different versions of it with different views. Yeah.
Why can't they have an alternate version of the halftime show for a football fan?
I agree.
Then somebody likes the game.
I totally agree with that. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I think the only thing is they want to funnel everybody into that halftime show.
Exactly.
They want as
And my
many eyes as
funnel
possible.
That's my
But they
funnel.
don't make any extra money off that halftime show. They don't even pay the performers. It's not like there's ads running. So what would they care?
They
if
don't
you
pay the
turn-
performance? You
Nah,
sure about that?
Yeah.
Really?
you
Well, it's
pay-
probably their biggest
They give you
spike
like a
in
budget
viewership.
to like for your production, but they don't get paid.
Really?
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest spike in viewership during the entire game is the halftime because people chime in just for that. They won't even watch the game. They just know halftime's here.
That's my point. My point is that, all right, give all the ancillaries,
Yeah.
the stragglers, the people that don't care about the sport, all right, but give me, like, we're supposed to be the core audience, right? I know you got us, and then you could just not care about us because we're here anyway, but give me a halftime show.
Agreed.
Give me some coaches, all right, talking about the game. I just want to talk about the game. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? You still run your commercials. Run a different set of commercials. You make more money.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
What's so hard about that?
I don't know. This is a great idea. The chat's loving this idea too. Everybody's into this.
Really?
Yeah, it is a great idea.
Well,
They
thank
should
bless
do
the
it.
chat because the chat cares about the game. I realize that I'm not normal. Like, I get it. And I'm not trying to be normal. I like what I like. It is what it is. I love, like, I'm already depressed that the season's over. Now, the good thing is I've started to fall in love with college basketball.
All right. Good.
Not the Sixers,
It's been
because
a
I'm
good
still
week.
mad at the Sixers. And I
Joel says they can still accomplish their goals if they stay healthy.
Hey,
I
big
know.
trade we just had.
I know.
Big trade.
If they stay healthy.
What? We got a new trade?
No, last
the
night.
Caleb Martin?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Caleb Martin one. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Big
well,
trade.
I'm hoping Paul George is out.
Oh, me too.
I would love to see them trade Paul George.
I agree with you.
I would love it. I'm in blowed up mode, and I can't believe I
Agreed.
got here. But there's no other recourse with them other than to blow it up because it's impossible to think he's going to stay healthy for 2.5 months.
Yep.
It's never
Like
happened.
I don't know how. Like, listen, I love Embiid. I've always his talent, the whole thing. I don't believe he's jaking it or anything like that. I believe the guy's genuinely hurt. Right? He is what he is. He's spaz, go on the ground, the whole thing. I get it, but I believe he wants to play.
Yeah, I think he wants to play as well.
I just don't think at this point it's in the cards. I don't think he can stay healthy for 2.5 months. The grind of a playoffs, and then you got to win, right? Forget about just can he be there to show up?
2.5 months. I don't think he'd stay healthy for 2.5 weeks at this point. Yeah, I mean he's already out tonight, right? I think they announced last night he's out tonight.
Yeah.
It's just it's comical at this point. It's a joke. It's so you really just can't even tune in for anything other than watch
I'm
Maxey
thinking,
play.
all right, well, what do I got other than football? I go, well, college, college basketball is actually really good this year.
It's been a good year so far. You got pitchers and catchers are like 8 days away.
Now, dude, I'll have a big Phillies bug. Yeah. The only thing that pisses me off now I'm going to go on a tangent is the existence of the Dodgers.
It should be illegal what they're doing.
It is. It should. I don't understand how MLB can allow that.
It's
And listen,
not-
we're talking out both sides of our mouths because Phillies are a have team.
well, yeah, we're one of the top 3 in
You
payroll.
know what I mean? We're a have team.
But they're
I
not
can't-
spending
So I don't want to be like whatever. But what the Dodgers are doing is even way more excessive.
The Dodgers are doing all seasons where they're spending like $1 billion
They
in
have
an all
every-
season,
they have-
all deferred and scooting the.
They have all the best Japanese pitchers on the team.
No,
Every
it's
Japanese
unbelievable.
pitcher in that World
I don't know
Baseball
how
Classic.
you're allowed to do that. It's ridiculous. All right, we got lots to get to. You know who's coming up? Edge.
Ange is back?
Ange is back!
Sweet.
Angelo Cataldi. Oh, I love it. He's the best. He's going to join us coming up. I can only imagine what he's going to say about the Chiefs. Like, I can't wait to wind them up to talk about Andy and Mahomes and the refs and Taylor Swift and halftime show. Like, I know Angelo will have some good stuff there.
I feel so good about the refs right now. So good.
Because it's out in the open.
They made a statement, the referees. It's like that good basketball coach who harps on the ref, and you get in their head, you start getting some calls. They're going to be so weary.
Here's
so leery about it.
Yeah, and here's the other thing that's going to be in their head, too, because of that, all the talk on social media is that somebody put out there's a dude who wrote a book in the early 80s, and he was like an investigative journalist, and he said that 38 games in the NFL were fixed.
Oh.
And it was like this video. I was like, wow. And you know who did the interview? Pat Sajak.
What?
Pat
Sajak?
Yeah, it was bizarre, right? I was like, well, this is unbelievable, man. This guy, in fact, I have to ask Ange because he might have seen that. And all this talk about the league and, then they got into the background of all these owners and they all have ties to organized crime or gambling or whatever.
Oh, man.
It was great. So this Super Bowl has to be on the up and up.
It's got to be with the refs.
Yeah.
When the head of the union of the referees or whatever is making statements, how could we orchestrate this?
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly. All right, Ange's going to join us. Danny Klecko, my buddy, my coaching partner, my man, Danny, 3 Super Bowls. My man he's got 3 rings. You kidding me?
It's a crazy career.
Yeah.
And he's played with some pretty good quarterbacks.
Yeah, only Brady and Manning, right? Pretty wild. So we'll talk to Dan coming up around 10. And then we got all kinds of good stuff for you today. Our locker room report will go down to New Orleans, check in with Z Berm as we try to kill off a Wednesday. And that's what it is.
Brady, it's hump day. We're
We
on the
gotta kill
downhill
off
after
a Wednesday.
this.
I can't play the freaking game. My God. All right, let's talk about some of our friends. In fact, is that Kelly in there? Trumark Financial Credit Union, baby. She's going to tell you all about Trumark Financial Credit Union. Kelly! Come here. Say hello real quick.
Oh, man, look at the sweater she's got on.
This is all. Wow, young Cal.
And push.
That's fantastic.
That's a great sweater.
You look great. Come here. Let the
She's
people
got
see
green
you.
and white sneakers on.
So, Kelly.
I got my PHLY done.
Oh, that's so cool.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. It's so great to see you. Mwah.
Good to see you.
So, Kelly, I was telling you about Kelly. She's the CEO of Trumark Financial Credit Union. How about it?
Hi.
Let's do your spot live.
Oh my gosh, I get to read my own spot?
Yeah.
No, all right.
All right?
Okay.
You,
let's
as
go.
the CEO, can do every job in the company. All right?
No, that's not true.
Well, you can.
My job is to hire great people that do that
Right.
job. Yeah.
You're a great leader.
Thank
All
you.
right. So so tell us about it.
So we are a local community financial institution. We're a not-for-profit cooperative, which means I work for you as a member, not for shareholders, which is awesome.
Yes.
And really, like the thing that I love the most, I think the thing that's most relevant here is we're super authentic, Greater Philadelphia people.
Well, does it get more
Yeah.
Philadelphia than Kelly? Seriously.
Probably does.
That is
but
awesome.
I know.
Where did you get that?
Abercrombie.
That is
They're
so,
not a sponsor though. So be
that
careful.
is so
Yeah.
cool. Let me
yeah.
see the back. Oh my God, that's fantastic.
You know what I brought you?
What's that?
Homemade jarred sauce.
No, you got the gravy. I love it. Oh my God, that's fantastic. So you're going to join us coming up about 10:45, all right?
Whatever you want.
And then we're going to talk birds. We'll talk about the game.
I got a lot to say.
All right.
Yeah.
And I went on a riff, and I need your opinion on this.
Okay, tell me.
About all the ancillary stuff in the show. Like, I just want the game.
Well, what do you mean?
Like, I hate the halftime show. I hate the commercials. I hate all the fluff and nonsense.
Yeah. You just want it.
And
like,
so you
OG.
appreciate it.
I do. Well, but
You appreciate the game.
I gotta say though, the year that Rihanna performed when we were in the
Nah,
Super
the
Bowl
Rihanna.
was
He's a Rihanna
absolutely
guy.
the
BT.
best.
The
Like
hell
that
with
was
Rihanna.
the best. And then my dreams imploded in the second half. But other than that, it was okay. It was a great night up until then. You know, I'm a big Taylor Swift fan though.
Oh my God.
Yes. No.
We got-
Hear me out. Like I'm a top 2% Spotify listener of Taylor Swift.
Wow.
Truly. I think it's an impressive fact, but I want her heart broken so bad this weekend that she writes a song about it. Like that's the level.
Oh, there
that
you
I'm
go.
at.
There you go.
Perfect.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that's
Like,
awesome.
Let's do that.
That sounds good. All right, we got lots to
All
talk
right,
about.
I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Kel.
Yeah.
That's Kelly Botti, CEO of Trumark Financial Credit Union. All right. Let's talk about Golden Nugget. You're gonna love it. That's right. Valentine's Day is coming up. So if you got your girl and you're ready to go and you got to make sure you got a great gift like diamond earrings, diamond pendants, I mean, you name it, your own's got you covered. And if you're thinking about popping the question, do yourself a favor, all right? Go to see your own 8th and Chestnut, right in the heart of Jewelers Row, Center City, Philadelphia. Go see him. He's going to take great care of you. He's got the largest selection of certified diamonds. He's got designers for the settings like Decore and Viraggio. He matches them together, and what do you got? A ring that's going to make her melt. GoldenNuggetJewelers.com. Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged.
You know, there's a guy in town. He hustles like the roses colored and different golds and stuff. Like your own stuff is way better.
Love it.
Way cooler.
Love it.
Yeah, and he's got nice sapphires. My girl's a sapphire gemstone.
Yeah, I like it. All right, I was dying to get to our man. He is a legend in the town. All right, and I had to get him on. It's Super Bowl week. All right.
Yeah.
I want to hear what he has to say. Let's welcome our friend, the great Angelo Cataldi. Hey!
Hey, how are you, brother? Take a look at my hat. This is an old one.
I
Right?
love
Super Bowl champion. I need to do Papa needs new hat. I got to get one Sunday after the Eagles win the Super Bowl. And if it doesn't happen now, because I don't know how many more years I got here, let's do this, huh? And I'm with you. How long has a guy been sick for 5 days with the influenza A? And I'm sick just because it's like, I want the game. Give me some game.
I can't believe that. I'm dying of age. This has felt like the longest 2 weeks.
I agree.
It's
Yes.
unbelievable. I'm like, it's only Wednesday. We got 3 more days to go to get to Sunday.
Right. And I know why, Ed, because I don't think any of this, the teams and the commissioner, they've never piled the manure as high as this.
Yeah.
It's so damn, all this below. I don't want to hear any of you. I've heard more than enough. Not one of you has ever been interesting to me.
No.
Andy Reid, Nick Sirianni, Roger Goodell. I have never heard a thing said by any of them that I found the damnest worth interesting. None of it. I don't need it.
You know what's funny is that all that stuff, you're right, is not compelling. But the game itself, the X's and O's, wow, man.
Yes.
It's really good. I can't wait to see how it plays out. The matchups are fascinating.
They are. And I love them because this may be the first time since 1980 that I think in a Super Bowl, the Eagles have on paper the better team.
Yeah.
They have more talent. Okay. And if Sirianni stays out of the way and let his coordinators do the job, and they let Saquon run crazy, we're going to have a parade.
Yes.
There'll probably be like next week today,
Yes.
right? In 7 days,
Yes.
you're going to have confetti in your hair, Ann.
Oh, my
7
God.
days.
I can't imagine. And I want to go back to, it was funny. I saw a clip from John Gruden, and Gruden's talking about you. You know, you see this when he's talking about, he's like, hey, yeah, you ever see on WIP? You ever hear about WIP? He's talking to the stool Presidente, right? And he's telling him at Barstool, and he's telling him Portnoy, he's going, yeah, well, WIP, man, they used to get on me every morning. There's a guy, Angelo Cataldi, and like it was great. Like it was fun.
Right.
It was talking about that era of Eagles football. And now I tell you that having lived through that period, you're going to get 3 Super Bowls in 8 years.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Right?
I was done. You know, we had 5 NFC championship games just in the years that McNabb was here. and we only got there once, and then he barfed in the fourth quarter, and
Yes.
Andy Reid didn't know how to manage the clock, and we lost the damn game to Belichick and Brady. Yeah, those scars don't completely ever go away, Ant. But winning one helps it.
Yes.
Winning two, that should be great.
Yes.
We need this one a lot.
No, this is huge because, like you said, if you look at the rest of the division, and you remember how we used to have to deal with fans, the Cowboy fans, the Giant fans, the Washington, and they all had multiple rings, multiple championships, and we were sitting with none. Now you get two. Now you walk in with a swagger. All right?
Yeah.
You walk in the room and you go,
Right
here, the Johnson's on the table.
Right. I'm with you. Barkley changed everything to me this year. Barkley, the minute Barkley comes on, he breaks into the clear and it's over. Forget it. No one's catching him. And that line is blowing open holes. I was watching the AFC Championship game, and I was seeing how I can't remember their running back, the Bills running back.
Yeah,
Cook. He averaged 6.5 yards a carry against that Chiefs defense. Well, then it should be fun. Just giving the ball to Barkley and let him do his thing. Because the Eagles, nobody's better at running that ball right now than the Eagles are. That controls the clock, that puts points on the board, and that discourages the other team. And I'm telling you right there, I don't need a game plan. Just pound that thing. Pound the ball. And then if I need to throw it, I got plenty of great targets for that too.
You know, the irony is the vision that you had in your head with Ricky Williams, right?
Yeah.
Oh, go away. Bring it back full circle. The vision you had in your head, which was winning with a running game, defense, and that pure building blocks of football is happening. This is the team that you envisioned.
This is it. How many years? I yelled myself hoarse and screaming, run the ball, run the ball. Because Philadelphia, that's what we like. We like the offensive linemen on an aggressive mode, pounding into the defensive guys, right? We want opening holes and shooting through, controlling clock, do what the running game does. Most of the coaches, including the owner, Jeff Lurie, they always loved throwing it. It was like, that's fine, but give me the run. And that's this team. More than any other team in 40 years, that's this team.
Yes. The best running back. I mean, Brady said it last week that he was marveling at how quick strike. He's never seen a quick strike running game, right? Like, he's Aaron Judge. I mean, like, who hits home runs? When do you ever see those long bombs? You never see those 60-yard runs, 70-yard runs to the house. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I expect it to happen in the Super Bowl. Hopefully more than once, where he'll just break out into clear, and you go, oh, nobody's got him. He's so fast. He runs 22 miles an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
That's unbelievable. No,
he talked about it. It was really interesting. I don't know if you saw it, but he was talking about his vision and how he folds the safety. Like, he started doing that later, which equates to the big runs, because he had such confidence now in that line, that second level, he can now kind of fold the safety and see it. And then once he gets into the alleys, he's done. Like, you can't stop him.
And all I could say is a team up north had that man's talent for 6 years, and they went, it's a couple extra million. Like, we don't need him. Let him go. I thank you, Giants, for being so damn stupid.
Right?
You are ridiculous. And those guys are still in charge up there?
I know. It's unfathomable that they don't lose a job. Like, how crazy if the shoe was on the other foot and we let Saquon go to the Giants and he did, we would be out of our minds.
Yes.
Storming NovaCare.
We would be picketing outside the NovaCare complex. Yeah, my son is a Giants fan and he is incredulous. And he went, how did they let this happen? They know we could do this. granted, he didn't get as many openings to run through with the Giants, but they knew how good he was. He said, let him go. Let him go. Thank you. Thank you. This Super Bowl we dedicate to you, you stupid Giants.
the other aspect of this team that I love, absolutely love, and I know you do, Carter, Bourne, Cooper, Quinion, this defense, this defense is awesome. I love this defense.
Even Davis last week, the last game.
Yes.
What's he, about 350? He's just sitting on people, right? The defense, the one thing, this team had talent defensively. You didn't see it last year because they have anybody who knew how to coach him. But Vic Fangio came in, and my God, how about that guy, Zach Bourne? He was a scrub for 4 years with the Saints, playing special teams, and now he's a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. That's how does Fangio do that 1 year with a guy no one even knew could do that? It's amazing. It's great. This is a great Eagles team. Great team, Anthony.
And Carter is Jerome Brown, but more athletic.
You're right. Carter's amazing. And what we see this year is a Carter who stayed in shape. He didn't get out of condition. He plays the whole year, taking almost every snap now.
Where do you ever in this league? What is league specialist? Where do you ever see that?
No, it's just all this excitement. I'm just going to say this because I always come from a negative point of view. Yeah. If they don't do it, if the Eagles lose this thing, this one's going to sting.
Yes.
I mean, forever.
Yeah.
And they're not going to lose it. I'm convinced they're not going to lose it unless a couple of things go wrong.
All right, let's think about it.
Let's go. All right.
Sirianni, you're talking about
Sirianni's what? If Sirianni does something super dumb, which he is certainly capable of, we got a problem. I don't think he will. I think he's under a very, very tight leash, but I worry about him. You know how much I hate Andy Reid. I don't think I ever hated a coach or a manager more than that. All right, that labradoodle, whatever he calls it. He's got all this Spumble-Rooski stuff he's doing now. Oh, he's so funny, so amusing. He's not amusing, all right? That's all fake Madison Avenue junk. He is not a fun guy. He never tells the truth. I don't know why they've created this image of the guy, but he is a better coach than Sirianni. So is Swoop. So that doesn't tell me that much. All right. So I'm not. I'm concerned about that, and I'm really concerned. Even though I agree with you guys, I am thrilled that it's now a national issue, but I'm concerned that the officials will hand it to Taylor Swift again.
Yeah.
Or to whoever else they have decided to screw over. Because 2 years ago, the Eagles got screwed on the Bradbury Phantom pass interference call. Could have cost us the Super Bowl. Even Jeff Lurie said that this week. Last year, they called a whole bunch of bogus holding calls against the Niners that changed the whole tenor of that game. And, this is the thing about Roger Goodell that I can't stand, Anthony. He comes out and goes, these theories that the officiating's one-sided are ridiculous. How ridiculous is it that the last 17 one-possession games the Chiefs have won? An NFL record. No team has ever won 17 consecutive one-possession games. How many times have you seen where personal foul penalties in the last 4 years postseason, 22 called to benefit the Chiefs, 5 called to benefit their opponent? Those are ridiculous?
Exactly.
That's all ridiculous. No. Here's what I always used to say when I was on the air, Ant, and I'll say it now. Did they know these games are televised? Did they know we could see these damn things from 12 different angles and we know when it's a penalty and when it isn't? You got to fake this with me. Don't pull this Sunday. Not this year. Not with this Eagles team. Because the Eagles are better. And if they play their game, we are going to win the championship.
There was a video I saw last night that went around. It was from the 2020, what was it, 2021? It was the AFC Championship game against the Bengals. Chiefs and Bengals. There was 10 minutes left. The score was tied. Kansas City's got the ball, 3rd and 9, right? They dump it off to Kelsey, and they bring their punt unit on it. Next thing you know, the officials come in and said, no play. No play. The play happens. No, we shut the play down. You shut the play down, but nobody else saw it, right? They actually went, punt units, team. Mahomes goes back on the field, right? 3rd and 9 again. Rush. He's got to throw the ball away. Flag. Oh, it was unbelievable. I was like, I forgot all about this. They hit, and then they go down and score, and they go on to win the Super Bowl.
And then they tell you it's not an issue.
Right.
The commission, that's not an issue. If you're in the media, Mike Sealski wrote this the other day. If you're in the media and think it's not an issue, get your brain checked. I think you might need a brain loop. You're wrong. You're ridiculous. It's absurd. But I'm telling you right now, if any of that crap happens on Sunday, I'm going to have a stroke. Because it is the fact that it is such a major focus. I got to believe it'll become a scandal if they don't call this game straight up.
That's
straight up. I'm not asking for any favoritism. Give me straight up. I got the better team. Just call it straight, and we'll win.
Yes. And go ahead.
No, I mean, I just think we're like the referees now, like basketball coaches who harp on the referees, and you get in their head, and suddenly you start getting the calls. It's in their head when the head of the referees releases a statement. It's in their head. Yes. So I think we should get a clean game this weekend.
Well, yeah. If we don't, it'll be a scandal. I know that much, and that would hurt the NFL brand. And God, we don't want to do that. That might cost the billionaires a couple of dollars. So let's not let that happen. We don't want that. So I think it's all lined up for us, Ann. It's lined up.
It is. So do you have a prediction? Like, give me, like, first of all,
do we want his prediction? Do we want his prediction? No.
We have to get a prediction. Unbelievable.
Look, I'll give it to you, but it's saying bet Parks up there. I wouldn't bet Parks on my prediction. Do it for the because I did predict this would be a 5-win season, and by now Sirianni would be fired. All right?
I wasn't going to bring that up. We covered
that.
No,
you have to.
You have
to. But I'm getting old. I might have had a senior moment back then. Who knows? Here's what I'll tell you now: Eagles 31, Chiefs 20.
Yeah,
does your double digit bet?
Double digits. Lay it.
Yes, double-figure victory, and at the end, they're going to be doing tributes to Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, and the incredible 2024-25 Eagles season.
Wow, I got chills. Brother. There it is. Champs. I love it. Edge, we love you, buddy. You're the best.
Love you, pal. Wow. Be well.
Enjoy.
Go Birds!
Go Birds! There he is, Angelo Cataldi.
There's a nice polo shirt you had on, like a coach's shirt with the old
the
eagle on it.
I like that shirt.
That was a solid shirt.
It was. They are better, dude. They are better.
I have not heard one person say that the Chiefs have the better team. Not one. I watch Good Morning Football. I watch ESPN.
Yeah, you watch all that stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I talk to these people. The same thing, which is, hey, Eagles are better. Andy, Mahomes, Spags, right? Like that's the always like the caveat that they throw out. Is the
Saquon.
I mean, I keep going back to it, man.
Lane Johnson.
I mean, again, here's what we know, right? Is that you start from that side and you go, you got your, Mailata and you got your Dickerson and Juergens, and you come to the right side, Becton, Lane, right? Like that group of five, that's football, man.
That's football, baby. It is. It's like,
Isn't it interesting, though? I find the irony. I love stuff like this because it makes, I always think in terms of story, and it feels like full circle. So one of the reasons why I love Ange, right? When we go back a million years. But when they did that thing with Ricky Williams and the whole thing, now obviously it wasn't, the right thing to do.
Right.
But that was the vision of not just Angelo, but the whole town. Like Philadelphia in general, you were part of it, wanted the running game and defense to marry that style of football, which was run, defense.
Lunch pail, blue collar. That was what we wanted. It's what we craved.
And this is that team.
Yeah.
This is that team. And it's that team in modern football,
It
right?
is.
Where you have a quarterback that helps the run game because he's got great legs.
He squats like 800 pounds or
Right.
1,200 pounds.
They have a play that is completely unstoppable. And everybody's tried to do it, and nobody can perfect it like the Eagles.
People get hurt doing it.
They do. The tush push, right? No one has perfected it like the Eagles have perfected it. Nobody. Even the Bills, who have a great offensive line, probably second in the NFL, right? And they have a quarterback who's
strong,
a moose.
strong quarterback.
He's too tall.
Yeah.
He's too
He's
tall.
a monster. He's a moose.
Yeah.
Well, you're right.
He can't get low enough.
And they got stopped numerous times.
And we're coming just a few years off of where like they were harassing Doug for running the ball too much. This is to the dismay of the owner.
Yes.
This club is running this style not to the owner's liking. It's fantastic. And then we got the whole
I think, but who did we talk to about this? Was it Zach or no? It was somebody else, maybe Jeff. I don't know. One of the insiders we talked about, the idea. Oh, Joe Banner. We talked to Joe. We asked Joe about winning by running the football. They like it now because it's innovative, right? And let's face it, it's also entertaining. Like watching Barkley take it to the house is entertaining. Brady's right. They're a quick strike run team.
Yeah.
Something that's never been done.
right. Yeah, you think of the run game and run teams, it's like the plotting 4 yards here,
Right,
3
cloud of
yards here,
dust.
4.5 yards here. And we're hitting.
Well,
he's got 8 home runs this year. 9.
Yeah. I mean, think about that.
I mean, that's home runs. We're saying runs over like 60 yards.
Yes.
He's had a few like 30s.
They would be akin to grand slams.
Yes.
That's what that is. That's a grand slam.
It is easily one of the most exciting things to watch anyone hit a home run like that in football. To like break a tackle,
To the house, yeah.
go to the house.
Dude,
it is the coolest thing ever.
So, I grew up in the 80s, right? And, when you grew up in the 80s, Barry Sanders, right? Like you had all these
big men.
backs. Marcus Allen in the Super Bowl against Washington. Reversing field.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson, right?
Ooh.
You had these runners. And the Eagles had Ernest Jackson, right? There was a guy named Ernest Jackson who was 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Literally, they were like, the Eagles' first
1,000-yard rusher. Yeah.
since Wilbur Montgomery. He had like 400 carries to get 1,000 yards, right? Like, it was unbelievable. It was the worst, the most horrible offense ever to watch. 1st and 10, Ernest Jackson for 2. 2nd and 8, Ernest Jackson outside for 2. 3rd and 6, either incomplete or Ernest Jackson for 4 and punt.
He had 1,000 yards, averaging 3.6 yards a carry.
I mean, come on.
It sounds miserable
Oh,
to
it was
watch that.
awful.
Oh.
It was awful. And then later in the 80s, you had Keith Byers, who I loved, but he wasn't a running back at that point. He was a tight end. He was a moose, Keith.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
He was a monster. He was we crave to have these runners, like this amazing, take it to the house.
Hey, we got our wish.
Yeah, man, B. West is nice, but he's more a finesse guy. This is just
No, I mean,
this is
listen,
like the combination
Ricky
of brute
Waters was
force and
fun.
speed.
B. West was great. Shady was awesome, but Barkley is all of them put together.
Yeah.
Like we never like Barkley's. It's unbelievable how great he is, and he's one of the greatest dudes ever.
Yeah, he's so much fun. Just watching him interviewed, he was so much fun. They had Jameis Winston asked him yesterday. He was like, "Hey, I'm a free agent. Where should I sign?" And Saquon's like, "I think New York needs a quarterback."
I mean, I like think about that for a second,
dude. There's so many great storylines here. I love the Carson Wentz. I love that Andy and Carson are on this team.
What did Wentz say? I saw a headline. Did Wentz speak about something?
He was saying something.
Who would even have a microphone in front of that guy at this point?
He was saying they were talking about him being on the Eagles, and he was like, "Oh, that feels like decades ago, like 4 or 5 lifetimes ago." All of this stuff. So he was really trying to play down the fact that he was on the Eagles.
I would too if I played as poorly as he did.
Yeah. You want to know a crazy record about Carson Wentz? The Eagles are 1-0 with Carson Wentz on the bench in the Super Bowl. He's going to be on the bench in this game.
That's great. I love it. I love it. That's a good little nugget. That's a golden nugget.
Check this out. This is a stat Warren Sharp Football put out. The Chiefs' run defense versus 2 tight end sets is number 3 in yards per carry, number 7 EPA. Versus 11 personnel, they're 24th in yards per carry and 17th in EPA. Eagles run 11 personnel, 81% of the time.
Yeah, well, that's how they run. Yeah.
It's a drastically different Chiefs defense against a run.
Yeah, and here's why, right?
Set.
Like, again, they have great linebackers. So where the Chiefs struggle is when you're going to, if you go 11, you got to go nickel, right? Mm-hmm. So because you have to match up. They have great linebackers, Kansas City. That's why against 12 personnel, they're so effective. But now you take one of those linebackers off the field,
right,
and you got to put the safety on now or the nickel corner on. You're stuck.
Stuck.
That's a Spags. That's going to be interesting. What my guess is, he'll go with a bigger. He's going to force you to isolate Goddard on a linebacker.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Like I think that's if you're going to go stay in base when they're in 11, those are the matchups that you'll have. You also are vulnerable to Barkley on a wheel route.
Yep.
Right? Because again, you have to deal with Barkley, a linebacker covering the back out of the backfield or covering the tight end. That's why you go to nickel on 11 personnel.
I like it. I love this.
I love it.
Yeah, I love
I
this
feel like
matchup.
we're going to see one of those wheel
I love
routes.
this matchup.
Oh, I love this matchup. This is going to be an awesome game.
I hope it's just a beating.
It's going to be a beating.
Dude, Joey's shirt. Come here. I want to get this shirt. Where'd you get it at?
It's a strong shirt.
I don't know. To be honest with you.
It's a great shirt, man. Look, it's wrinkled.
Yeah, he needs an iron.
Yeah,
dude. Your mother's going to go nuts.
It's got the little portable. We need a portable steamer in here.
Is that ancient? Like, is that from your father or is that new? And you buy it? It's retro. That's the old font.
It was just in the,
it's like felt stitching. It's like
we
the
had-
letters
Yeah,
are like felt.
it looks old.
It looks old.
Clothes just like get left and stuff, and then I just saw it and I was like, oh, can I have this? And then just I never wear it.
It's a
I
great.
lost it.
It's a great. I love it, man. It's right up my alley. I want that.
Looks like a Mitchell and Ness item. Like they would make something like
But
that.
I like the little, like the mock hoodie.
Yeah, with the 3 button.
I like that.
Yeah.
I
You keep it open. It'll
20 of
breathe.
these. I have like 20 of those things, all different colors,
Yeah.
this sort of thing. I like that.
Yeah, it's Mitchell and Ness.
It's a Mitchell Ness piece.
Yeah, they do
That's a
great
nice-
stuff.
They do. But I love the Eagle font.
Yeah. I like the
I
way
want to
those
get that
letters
for.
are stitched
We
on.
may have to take a walk. I got to get that for
Let's go take a walk
for Sunday.
Go in
Yeah.
town. There's lots of places to get beers near there.
That's a good walk.
I know that. I didn't live far away from there. He's right away angling. Hey, what do we get? We're going to be at Grand Cafe. We're going to be at Yards. Speaking of beers.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Woo, it's like
Here's
going
the-
back to my
And
grandma's
here's the
house.
beauty.
Oh.
We're going to do Super Bowl trivia.
Yes.
With Johnny
Ooh,
Goodtimes.
Johnny Goodtimes coming in.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
All right. We're going to do some Super Bowl trivia. We'll have beers.
Yeah.
All right. We'll enjoy ourselves. And then Friday, Grand Cafe L'Aquila. Again, L'Aquila in Italian, the Eagle, home of the Eagle. And it was good luck in 2018.
Yeah, that was a great time there. Their gelato is
Oh, I can't wait to try it, man. I love gelato.
unbelievable.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's unbelievable.
It really is. It's incredible.
Yeah, I have a friend from Genoa who lives here, and she goes there all the time for it. She swears.
No,
by it.
it's legit.
Yeah.
It's well, they've won all kinds of awards. I
Mhm.
mean, it's amazing. I forget his name. He's the master gelato maker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's a man. No, seriously.
That's
Yeah.
a good title.
Yeah, he's a master. No, he is.
That's a great title.
Yeah. They actually have the greatest coffee that you want. I love that place. It's a great spot. But it's good luck. Like we did the show there that day, and do you remember it was packed? You were there.
Packed.
It
Couldn't
spilled
move.
out on Chestnut
Yeah,
Street.
you couldn't move in the place.
Oh, wow.
And it was Andrew, it was freaking awesome. And it was just people doing chants and
Oh, yeah.
it was freaking fabulous. It was so much fun.
Well, we got to get that going this Friday. So everybody come
Yeah,
out.
anyone who's in town or whatever,
gotta do it.
Just stop by, have
Yeah.
some lunch with us.
Yeah, we're gonna have a blast with it.
11 to 1 on both those days, Thursday and Friday.
Yeah,
we're
we'll
gonna be live.
probably be 11 to 2.
Yeah, we'll
All
definitely
right,
go long.
like we might as well just put it out there because we're gonna be. There's a lot to get to. There's gonna be a ton of stuff. We're definitely gonna go to overtime.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I already know it. It's
Play
gonna
hooky. Come hang out.
Play hooky. Come hang
Yeah.
out.
This is not, especially now. Like we gotta pass the time till get to Sunday. Driving me nuts.
Nothing like some yards beers to pass the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude.
Good
I
time
feel you.
passer.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of our friends, shall we? Yes. How about the Bet Park Sportsbook? Where are we at? My man?
Pulling it up now.
Hey, by the way, tonight, Cousins Corner, special prop show. Woo! All right?
Ooh.
We're going to go through every prop, the Brain and I, tonight, 6 o'clock live from 6 to 7 at Parks Casino.
Wait, are you actually going through all 1,013 of them?
Well, some are redundant.
I hope not.
But he's
It's like
looking
a
to get out.
24-hour marathon show.
No,
Be there
but-
for 3 hours.
But some are redundant. But we're
Dude, 3 hours would be 300 props an hour. You're there for 10 hours. You go through all these.
and then the brain will analyze each one.
The brain will go on and on.
Big game just days away. The Bet Parks online casino and sportsbook app has you covered.
whoa. Point spread.
Movement.
Eagles +1.
Oh, he's moving on the bus. That's good.
We got that half point.
That's a big
Finally,
deal.
a budge.
Yes.
Something saying
The
something.
Eagles now 1-point dogs. Do I hear pick your nose on Sunday? I'm smelling a pick 'em on Sunday.
I didn't know where you were going to pick your nose.
Pick your nose. What's the line to pick your nose? All right.
The Eagles are even money to win.
How about the total?
Totals dropped a half point, 48.5.
48.5. Wow. Look at that. People are on the under, or the big whales are on the under. Get some skin in the game with all the props and everything you can imagine for the big game. Plus, always another way to win, like blackjacking, live blackjack with dealers and roulette and baccarat and craps, you name it, all the hot slots. New customers download the app. In fact, if you're down in the first 24 hours, you got up to $1,000 casino bonus back. You got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're -9.5. It's dropping to +335. It was up near +400.
Got to jump on that, man. Jump on it. Jump
Things
on
are
it.
trending.
Yeah.
Things are trending.
I got another pizza one. What are the Eagles -13.5? All right. What would that be?
Park's alt line only goes to -11.5.
What's
It's
11.5?
450. +450.
Wow. Maybe just go to 11. Sure. Just go to 11.5. Bleep it.
I'm going to go -9.5 and see if we add that Saquon 2 touchdowns or Jalen 2 touchdowns. Let's see.
I like that.
I'll let you know.
I like that. Do that. That's that'd be a nice. That's a vacation pizza bet. All right, let's talk about our friends at Rothman Orthopedics. Joints aching, hands cramping, back out of whack. Rothman's got you at Rothman Orthopedics. Practicing specialized care has been their passion for over 50 years. That's right. Their mission, high quality, compassionate, and affordable care rooted in research. Research leading to new treatments and better outcomes. Each Rothman doctor laser focused on their specialty. Hip, knee, spine, you name it. They have a team for every body part right in your backyard. So you can cross over that defense. You can train those jumpers on the driveway. Root for our teams like no other fans in the country. They are Rothman Orthopedics. They specialize in you. Rothman Orthopedics specialize in orthopedics for over 50 years. And you go to RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY to learn more and make an appointment today.
Hey, Stefano, the master gelato maker? Stefano.
Yeah.
Mickey.
That's it.
Mickey chimed in with
Way
that.
to go, Mick. That's right. Stefano is the master gelato maker. He's a great dude, Stefano.
Yeah?
I'll introduce you to him Friday.
Can't wait.
Yeah, he'll be there. He's unbelievable. This portion of the show brought to you by Rite Aid, your neighborhood pharmacy, riteaid.com. Nearest store and pharmacy for you. You need like a bunch of stuff for your big party gathering. What's that?
We got a roach in the chat.
I know.
Kings of Rings, Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Easy 3-Pete. No competition whatsoever. Line them up for next season. 4-Pete run. Sounds scared, King of Rings. He sounds scared in the
King
chat.
of Rings. Oh, my God. Bondaruski! Bondaruski! Oh, my God. Speaking of King of Rings, take this, King of Rings. I actually have the King of Rings. All right? He's got 3 of them. Take that, King of Rings. He's his own 3-Pete. And that's why I had to get him on the show today, because he's an incredible football mind, an incredible football coach, coaching his son, who's a stud, by the way. And he is a walking human 3-Pete. So hello to our dear friend, Danny Klecko.
Yeah, Danny.
What's up, buddy? How are you, pal? You excited?
are a walking, human, breathing 3-Pete.
It was 3 out of 4, but what, who's
Well,
counting?
I just want to say that. 3.
What's up, man?
What do you think, man? Like, do you get this week? Do you get flashbacks? Like, do you start to think about your experiences?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. And it's like my neighbor's CJ GJ, and I saw him leaving on Sunday, and I'm like, damn, like this is the most fun week you could ever have, right? Like last week's just normal. You come in, you get all your tickets and everything, and you go through that stuff, and then you just go through practice. But you leave Sunday, man, you get down to New Orleans or wherever you're at, and man, it is so much fun. You got a police escort everywhere you go, but your police escort's like, you have the presidential one where no one's on the road with you. Every time you come back to your locker, there's a swag bag or some new shoes or something. Like it's just the most fun week ever. And then, like Wednesday, you go into lockdown, and it just, the moment kind of hits you like, oh man, we're about to play in the Super Bowl. Like this is pretty cool. Like it's you see the patch on your jersey when you take the pictures and stuff, man. There's nothing like this week. It is awesome.
Oh my God, that's so cool. What were the 3 locations you were at?
Houston, which was a lot of fun. Jacksonville, which was not as much fun.
Yeah, we
and
know
then
about that.
Miami, but it was funny. It was the only rainy Super Bowl ever we played in that. Poured the whole game.
Yeah, that's right.
It was brutal, man.
Yeah, that's right. Take us through the preparation. Like you said, you leave on Sunday, right? You had your media night. It's even gotten even more ludicrous now because it's become this media night, right? So take us through all that.
Yeah, we used to still have media day on Tuesday when I was going to the Super Bowls, and it was different. You get there Sunday, and we'd have the night off. You'd have Monday night off, and the coaches would be like, "Go enjoy. You don't have curfew. Go get out, do your thing." So like those first 2 nights, you're really all that's in town. There isn't a ton of people there yet, So, but it's a lot of fun. Like you just get those 2 nights.
What did you guys do in each city?
Anthony, I'm not allowed to. I'm not saying.
You know what I mean? Like I meant.
No, you go out.
Within reason. Did you go whatever as a team? Did you go hang out? Then wander?
It was the same groups. You had your little groups within the team, and you'd go out, you go to the bars, you get,
Yeah.
get a little drunk, have some fun, really enjoy it. But then like Tuesday comes and it's like, that's over. I mean,
Right.
that is over. And you just go into a normal week, right? You maybe have a walkthrough or something on Monday, but Wednesday comes normal practice and everything gets as normal as it can. You're living out of a hotel and, you're in someone else's facility, which is a little weird. Where are the Eagles at? They at the Saints facility?
They are at the Saints facility, yeah.
Yeah, they're the home team, right? Yeah, so
Yes.
they're at the same. So that's a little weird, but I mean, the first 2 nights are so much fun. Just because I mean, I remember first night in Houston, right? Then we go out, we go to this Mexican place, and the backers all hung out together. It's me, Willie McGinnis, Teddy Bruschi, Vrabel. It's all of us, and we're at this Mexican restaurant down there. Getting a little tuned up, and all of a sudden, Brady and Dan Marino walk in. And I'm like, holy, like Dan Marino's here. I'm like, come sit down here. He starts firing off stories about my dad. We're having fun with that. And then me and Vrabel would not leave him alone. We kept firing Ace Ventura lines at him all night. And he was like, you're a weird guy, Ace. It was just, it was all night. We were just hammering him with these Ace Ventura lines. But, that's the kind of stuff you run into down there. I remember in Miami, we get down. And, this is the one with the Colts. And Peyton comes with like a select few of us. And he's like, yo, we got these 6 Suburbans in the back. Hop in. We're going to go out to dinner. We go to some badass Italian joint down there that everybody knew. I forget what it was called. It was in Lauderdale. And we go out and it's just, it's one of the best meals we've ever had. We're hanging out with Peyton. And Brian Urlacher comes walking in. And he wouldn't even come over and say hello to us. I'm like, what a jerk. I'm like, get the hell out of
Come
here, man.
on,
Like,
dude.
Dak Thomas is hanging out with us and he's acting like he's like, all right, we'll see you on Sunday. We're gonna beat the hell out of you then. God. But yeah, I mean, it's just like those are the memories, right? Like where you just got the dinner with, you're like, well, oh my God, we're about to, this is pretty fun. We're hanging out with all these guys that you don't normally hang out with.
Yeah, that's got to be Runway 48. I think is the name of that place. I remember.
And it was an Italian name, like Amoratos or something like that.
Yeah, it's something along those lines because there's a big.
And they had like all the mob movies playing in the background.
Yes.
It was cool.
Yeah,
it was a cool place.
In fact, you remember,
too.
Speaking of Marino, so this brings it full circle. Dan was partners with this guy Anthony, who owned
Anthony
that restaurant.
Coldfire.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then we used to do the shows from the Anthony's Coal Fire, and I used to do their spots. And
I still go to the one in Mount Laurel every once in a while.
Yeah,
and all his pictures
he sold
are
out.
up.
Dan,
I know. Yeah.
It's so. But that guy Anthony owned that restaurant that you went to.
Oh, did he really? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
he had
that's
all
cool.
those. He had everybody, all the guys come in. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, like I said, all the mob movies were playing. It was like you're in like a club, like eating them. This is a little weird, but all right, it's cool. We're in Miami.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was in Lauderdale, wherever the hell it was at.
Yeah. What was so you go on lockdown and then like how Thursday, Friday, and like Saturday you go for a walkthrough and then you have all your meals are in the hotel. You're pretty much take us through that day because that's an interesting. People don't realize that day leading into Sunday, that block of time feels forever for you.
Long and Sunday's long, right? Like the Super Bowl's long. Like you get there really early because you got to get through all the security and you got to get through everything. And you're there. I mean, I'll bet you 4 or 5 hours before the game, which isn't too bad. But remember, it's not like a normal game. Like pre-game's longer, halftime's longer. It's just a long day. So you just prepare yourself for that. But it's from Saturday to kickoff is like it might as well be an eternity, right? Because you just want to get to the game. You just want to play it. It's 2 weeks. You've been hearing about, this week they'll be hearing about how great Patrick Mahomes is and Andy Reid. You just want to play the game. Let's just see how this plays out. Get the hell out of here and let's see if we can win this thing. It's a long, 48 hours to get through the game.
You'll go through the game plan at home and kind of install it that week. And then what are you doing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Just kind of fine-tuning, walking through
fine-tuning it. Right. You're fine-tuning it. I mean, these coaches, I swear to God, they never stop, right? They're always picking up little things. I mean, the famous one is the Malcolm Butler one, right? That they let out where, hey, on the the Thursday before the game, they were working on that pick play that, Malcolm Butler intercepts the ball. I mean, I swear to God, they never stop. But, they'll pick up little things and you'll change little things in the game plan. For the most part, though, I mean, you know what you're going to do, right? There's little wrinkles. You saw Andy last year in the Super Bowl. He put in that pass where he put, I forget who it was. He put, Rice in the flat or whatever. But, there'll be those little wrinkles they put in, but you know what you're going to do. You are what you are. It's just fine tuning and getting ready for their defense, getting ready for Spags, what he's going to throw at you. It's just a lot. It's a lot of over and over and over again, just getting ready.
Let's go to X and O a little bit. So we were just talking about it. Obviously, with Barkley, the Eagles run out of 11, and the Chiefs are very good out of base, right? Against 12, because they can keep their linebackers on the field. Against 11, they're really vulnerable, right? So if you're
you saw it against Buffalo, they couldn't stop the run.
Right. So if you're Spags, do you stay in base and force the mismatch and say, all right, well, I'll have to deal with a linebacker on Goddard or Barkley out of the backfield?
You gotta, right? I mean, that's just what you have to do if you're Spags. Look, it's not a great matchup for the Chiefs on defense. It's not, it's not for anybody, right? I mean, when you have Saquon Barkley, you have the MVP of the league, in my opinion. Saquon Barkley was the best player in the league this year. You're not going to convince me of anything else. When you have to stop him, and if you want to try to put 8 in the box, 9 in the box, like you said, if you want to go nickel, all right, we're running right at you. But look, it's a matchup nightmare for the Chiefs. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is the 2 offensive linemen. If you don't have an answer for Chris Jones, it could be a long day because, he's the best D tackle in the league. He's a game record. And when he wants to take over, he just does it. But if those 2 are healthy, this is not a good matchup for the Chiefs if Jalen Hurts is on, like he was last week. If he's on like he was last week, I don't see how the Eagles lose this game.
Yeah, Danny, I feel it too. Like, if you look at it, you're right about Jalen. Obviously, he's got to be on, and
he's got to be on.
You can't be in 3rd and 7/8. Like, you got to win first down because that's when Spags could mess with you, right? Because Jalen calls for protections. Spags will have stuff dialed up. He'll disguise everything. So you got to stay out of that 3rd, 6th, 3rd, and 7.
Exactly. And look, you have the guy to do that, right? Like, you don't need to get caught in those 3rd and longs. You don't need to get caught in 7 and 2nd and 7+. Just do what you do, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to wear anybody out in this game. Give it to Saquon. Let him go. But he's got to set everything up, right? Saquon has to be the guy. Nick has to be careful not to get too cute, right? And Kellen Moore, don't get too cute, right? Just do what you do. Do it well, like you said, Ant. Stay out of those situations where Spags can come at you, right? Right. That's the biggest thing is you want to do is just use what you have and do what you've been doing all year. Don't get cute in this game. Don't try to do too much. Do what you're doing. Run the counters, run the zone, let Saquon be him and go win this game.
Hey, flip side, and I'm fascinated with here because defensive tackles better than anybody. You understand that front 7. The Chiefs are thin because they had to kick Tooney out to tackle. Caliendo's their weak link at left guard, right? Jalen Carter is usually over the right guard. Do you move him to left guard and you try to feast on that matchup because you're going to force them to double? Like, if you put him over left guard, they have to double Carter.
I put Jalen Carter on the fish, right? That's what you do. You put him on the weak link and you let him go eat. I mean, look.
Put him on a fish.
That's what you do. You put him on the fish and you let him go eat. That's what you do. The biggest thing for the Eagles D line this week, and it's no mystery. It's not like you're going to say anything that's groundbreaking here. Mahomes is a guy you want to keep on the spot, right? When you let him extend plays and get out of the pocket and do what he does, that's when he's a problem. When he can scramble for the 10, 15 yards when you're in man coverage, that's when Mahomes becomes a problem. You have to be so unselfish this week in rushing the passer. The ends can't get past the quarterback. They can't open up lanes. And it sucks for the D tackles, but you got to just push, right? You got to tighten that net around Mahomes and make him stay right on the spot and try to get to him that way. I mean, that's the magic of trying to beat Mahomes, right? That's what you have to do. That's the secret sauce, right? In the defensive backfield, you're fine, right? The Quinyon Mitchell's played beyond rookie. He's amazing. He's already one of the top corners in the league. You have DeJean, who's playing awesome. Obviously, you have Slay, who's been a Pro Bowler forever. He's one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Look, you're going to be okay in the backfield as long as you are disciplined and don't fall for Andy's tricks. Hey, look over here, but we're throwing it over here. Just play your keys, do your job, and the Eagles will be fine. This is a good matchup for them.
Yeah, I'm interested because I look at what the Eagles do defensively, and they're so much better than they were in 2022. They tackle so much better. They're so much better in the middle of the field, right? Because you bring up Cooper. I love DeJean, right? Because he's physical. He's such a great athlete. He could play on the outside, but he's most valuable almost like a rover back in the middle of that field.
Exactly.
Right? Like he's
exactly. That's what he is, right? He can play like a backer. He can because he's big, strong, and physical. He doesn't play like a cornerback, right? Like Mitchell is what he is. He's Slay is what he is. But you can put DeJean anywhere you want, and he's going to be just fine. Yeah.
And
so
it's a huge advantage too, right? Because Andy likes to throw those quick flash passes, and DeJean's good at blowing that up, getting through those blocks and blowing it up.
And I'm sure Andy will have a wrinkle off of that. You look at the Chiefs. I think they led the league this year in passes behind the line of scrimmage and yards. So he'll have a wrinkle off of that, I'm sure. But look, just play discipline, right? Don't get out of your zone. Don't get out of your, don't let your eyes deceive you because that's what Mahomes wants. As soon as, he starts scrambling, match, right? Everybody match to your receivers and don't come off of them, and they'll be fine.
What do you think about we talk about Mahomes and you played with the greatest ones, right? Brady and Manning and, Patrick's right there. What makes him, comparing the two other great ones, what makes Mahomes as calm? Like we know about his mobility, but really it's just the way he gets rid of the ball. Like he's the ultimate. I say Jalen plays like a point guard, but Mahomes is even more pronounced like that.
Look, there's been 2 or 3 guys that can play like him in the history of the game, right? Maybe 4, right? It's Brady, Montana, Manning, and even Manning. I don't know if he was on Mahomes' level. He was just so smart that he could play the game before it was even snapped, right? But you look at Mahomes. I mean, he's just like Brady, where it's just something you can't measure. You can't say, hey, it's because of this. He just is what he is. He's calm. He knows everything that's going on. He's never out of a game. I mean, if the Eagles are up by 10 with 4 minutes to go, are you happy? If they're up by 14 with 4 minutes to go, are you happy? Are you feeling content? No. It's something you can't measure, right? Like they're just never out of a game. They don't care. They're going to fight until it says, 0-0-0. Like they don't care. And like, I've really only seen one other guy like that, and it's Tom, right? Like that's you can't ever let your foot off the pedal. It's never, it's funny. You look at Mahomes' only Super Bowl, he got his butt beat, and it was against Tom. But it's like,
and he had no tackles in that game.
Right. His offensive line was beat to hell. So I mean, there's nothing you could say that I pinpoint right here. This is what he's great at. He's great at everything. Right? He's already considered a top 2-3 quarterback of all time, and he's in his 8th year, 9th year. So like, he's just special, right? He's just the next one up, the next goat up. That's what he is.
Is there a bias? Go ahead, VG, because that's been part of the theme.
Yeah. The referee bias?
Yeah,
I think it's obvious in the
100%. Yeah. I mean, look, it's just like the Patriots, right? It's just like they were. It's just like the Colts were. It's the Jordan rules, right? It is what it is. He's going to get more calls than everybody else. And look, he's the face of the league. He's the MVP of the league. Kelsey's the darling of the league. They're going to get the calls. If you go into the game, which very, very visibly the Bills were worried about that going into the game, and they let it beat them, right? You just have to get over it. Hey, look, they're going to get calls. When it happens, get your ass back to the huddle and go on to the next play. It's I think it's very clear, like you said, it's not like a hidden thing, but it's okay, right? Like they are what they are. They're the new darlings of the league, and you got to go beat them. You got to knock them out.
It's not just that he's getting the calls, though. It's holding calls,
Everything.
pass
Right,
interference,
right.
bad spots. Always in
Right.
the Chiefs' direction. So you were
It seems that way
Yeah.
for sure.
So you were a Patriot when people felt lean that way. Did you guys know that as a team? Did you feel that?
Not in the game, you didn't. And obviously, when I left, it definitely got worse because they kept winning and they kept being the best team in the league. But I mean, I'm sure you feel that. And look, these guys, when you are Tom Brady, when you're Patrick Mahomes, when you're Peyton Manning, you can look at the ref and say, "What was that?" You can do that. Me as a scrub D lineman trying to yell at the ref, he'll tell me to shut up. But like when the MVP of the league looks at you and goes, "Hey, that was a hold," or "Hey, I got hit in the head there." Of course, they're going to get the calls, but you cannot let it beat you, right? You just have to be mentally tough against a team like the Chiefs because they're going to get the calls. You just have to get over it. But I'm totally with you. You can't hide it from our eyes, right? We've been watching it for 3-4 years now. They get the calls. It's okay, though. That's okay. Just keep playing. You will win this game.
Well, and that's the thing. You said it earlier, right? Which is you got to knock them out, right? They're the champs, right? It's always been that way. You got to knock out the champ. If you're going to win the game, you got to deal with all that stuff and not cry about it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go into a fight with Floyd Mayweather and dance around with him and think you're going to get the decision, right?
Right.
It's not. You got to go for the knockout. You got to make it look like you won the game. That's what you have to do.
Only a couple things that make me nervous besides the obvious, but Fangio's scheme is that forces you to matriculate down the field. Fangio wants to keep everything in front of you. The only issue is that's Kansas City. That Kansas City's happy to play.
They can do that, right?
I mean, that's what they don't really have big strike down the field. That's not who they are. They're more of a matriculate type of team. So it kind of fits. It kind of works against Fangio's scheme.
Absolutely. And look, now that Hunt's running the ball decently, he is, so they're running the ball good enough to do that, Ant. That's what they're doing right now. They'll take what you give them for sure. Look, as soon as they get in the red zone, that's when they're magical, right? Like that's when Andy pulls out his other playbook. That's when everything's up. So look, it fits into their hands too, but I just don't see the Chiefs being able to hang with them. I just don't see it.
Yeah. How about that, man?
Everybody's feeling it.
I mean, I love it. I freaking love it, dude. Yeah. I mean, look, you read it better than anybody. I tell people all the time about how your mind works when it comes to the game and kind of sussing out. Other than the greatness of Andy and Spags and Mahomes, they win everywhere else and up on the fronts, which is where football's won anyway.
Like I said, the thing that scares you is look when the NFC Championship game was over, they said Juergens and what's the center
Dickerson,
Juergens. They said, hey, look. They feel really good about them being ready for Super Bowl Sunday. I'm like, that's not great, right? Like, oh yeah, they'll be fine. Don't worry about it. They just had to get through some stuff. The fact they said they might be ready for Sunday, that's tough, right? And I know they're practicing and all, but how much of the game are they going to be in? That's the thing.
How beat up are you?
Can they get through the game? Because look, 95 can wreck the game.
Yeah,
he can ruin the game. He can absolutely ruin the game, and he can take over. And that's a tough spot to be.
And the other point is right, too. Like, Jalen's got to play well. We saw him play well in 22, but because there's going to be times where you're going to have to make that throw. You're going to see AJ manned up, right? And down the field, you're going to have to make that throw.
Or you're going to have to eat it, right? You're just going to have to take the sack, throw the ball away, get down. Don't do anything stupid in this game. The more possessions you give Mahomes, the worse it gets. So, look, when something's not there, dirt the ball, right? Take the sack. Don't do anything stupid. Don't play hero ball. I know everybody points to that fumble in the last Super Bowl, but
it was an anomaly.
Right. It slips out of his hand as he's coming out, right? Like, those are the mistakes you can't have against Andy.
It is wild that the Eagles have won every turn by a long shot. Like Washington turned the ball over a bunch. The Rams turned the ball over. Green Bay turned the ball over, and they all did it early.
And it probably cost the Rams the game.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it really did. I mean, they're
That
right in it
Kyron
at the
Williams
end.
that Carter
Right.
punches out.
Oh,
That they
I
were.
know.
It came after the safety. They were driving. That was at midfield on a 2nd and 2.
I know. And like, look, it's been the story of the playoffs, right? If you've lost, and it's usually the story of the game, but especially these playoffs. I mean, you look at Baltimore, you look at Buffalo, when they've turned the ball over. You look at LA, Washington, they've turned the ball over a bunch and they've lost the game. That's possessions are so critical this time of year, and to give them extra possessions, especially on a short field, it's a killer.
My brother, I love it, man. What are you doing for the game?
I'm sitting home. I'm going to get wings to go for my boys down in Woodbury. I'm going to get my wings to go, a couple pizzas, and I like being home. I like watching. I don't like going to parties. Everyone's like, "You going to the game?" I'm like, "Hell no! I don't want to go in there." There's so many other places I'd rather be. That would probably be the last one.
I do. I feel the same way. I hate all the stuff, right? I hate I hate it. I just want to watch the game. And this game is
I like the food. I like the food.
Yeah.
What do you think about the halftime show? Are you in or out on halftime shows?
Who is it? Kendrick Lamar, right?
Yeah.
I like him. Yeah. I have no problem with him. The odds that I watch the halftime. The odds that I watch the halftime show are slim to none, but I like Kendrick Lamar.
He's in on Kendrick Lamar.
I said,
I love Kendrick.
I don't watch halftime shows.
He leaves the house during the halftime show. He goes outside.
I usually turn like Family Guy on or The Simpsons or something.
I can't watch that. I don't watch the game. Why don't they do an alternate halftime where you got a bunch of coaches and they're analyzing the game?
I think they do that. I think they do that.
Where?
ESPN or someone's got to do that, right?
I don't know.
NFL Network.
I don't think they do it.
Sounds like, hey, it's our $1 million idea. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Me, you, and Baldy will do it. Yeah.
Yes. Meat Locker halftime, baby.
Oh,
That's what we're doing.
That'd be great.
I love it. Brother, you're the greatest, man. We love you, buddy.
All right, boy. Love you guys.
Family.
You too.
Here he is, the great Danny Klecko. 3-ring Danny. 3-ring Danny.
You know what the great thing is?
I coached Danny's son in baseball.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You know what the great thing is? You guys were talking about the turnovers and the Eagles. They're not fluky turnovers either. They're forcing these things out.
Yes.
It's not like these guys are dropping balls or stuff like that. These Eagles are going in there with their physicality and making these turnovers happen.
You're right.
It's awesome.
It is. They are. They're punching out the ball. You're right. By the way, the Pistons are trading for KJ Martin.
Yeah, hopefully Tobias is not coming back. Please no.
Oh.
Anybody but Tobias.
Tobias and Paul George together?
Oh my God. Man. That's a nightmare, man.
Put my head in the fridge.
That would be a freaking nightmare. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
There's no one saying what they're getting in return.
No.
Sixers are sending KJ Martin and 2 second-round picks to the Pistons per Derek Bodner.
Who are they going to get? Our own Derek Bodner.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris.
Text Derek.
I'll text him right now and ask him.
Ask him what they're getting back. All right. We got to figure that out. All right. We got Z Berm coming up from New Orleans. Looking forward to that. Kind of go dive into it. You got a little Shady Rays for me?
Yeah, we do.
Because you think about what to eat.
Because the future's so bright with these birds. You got to have some sunglasses on. Summer's coming. Spring's coming.
They're cool. That's a great graphic. That Shady Rays graphic with the sunglasses.
I like the way
Aren't they cool?
like the trees and
the
blue
mirroring of the trees. Yeah, it's good.
You do that?
I didn't. They made that.
That's nice.
I wish I could claim that, but no.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, so, the boys are heading out of Clearwater soon. Spring's on its way. Protect your eyes with our friends over at Shady Rays. Get ready for the season with quality shades built to last. Our friends over at Shady Rays, they got you covered with some premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. And Shady Rays, they're an independent sunglass company with a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames, crystal clear optics, and they're the perfect choice for pretty much all outdoor activities. They got hundreds of options to choose from and pretty much a color palette that runs the gamut so you can grab some colors in your favorite team's colors. And here's the cool thing. If your shades ever go missing or they take an unexpected hit, you don't have to sweat it. They have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by a lost or broken replacement. If you don't love your shades, exchange for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back for fast and personal support. So, exclusively for PHLY listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head over to shadyrays.com and use the code PHLY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. And try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 satisfied people.
Love it.
So I got a text back from Bodner.
What do you say?
He said it's just luxury tax savings. That's all they're going to be getting from this. The Sixers.
Wow, they get nothing in
They're
return?
not getting
Okay.
any.
You
They're
can
just
do that with the cap? I thought you had to get something back.
Derek knows the cap.
Wow.
Derek is.
He's a cap guru.
He really is.
Yeah.
He's a cat. I would be the worst because I have no interest in.
Yeah.
I can't do my own cap, right? Like,
yeah.
like
Same.
I look up.
You need Kelly Body and the green light app.
I look at the end of the month. I go, why am I in the red?
Yeah, me too.
Why did I
my
get
God.
DoorDash so many times?
No, I don't do the DoorDash. I just go, let's do another training session, Moss. How much is that again?
He doesn't get food delivered because it's never hot enough. He's got to get.
I
That's true.
don't believe in delivery.
That's true. I mean, yeah.
I don't believe
sometimes
it.
it comes cold. You have to
Plus,
reheat.
they kill the pizza. The pizza is killed in the box.
Oh, the cheese slides.
The box.
Yeah.
It's just the
respect.
box. The cardboard affects the pie.
Like it gives it a flavor?
Yeah, like
No,
the
it kills-
steam.
The
Oh,
steam
the
hurts
steam.
the crust.
Oh, okay.
You don't get when you're at a spot,
Yeah.
the pie comes out of the oven.
Yeah.
That's when the pie is at its great. It's elite.
Right on the table.
Crisp, it's crisp. The
He
crust.
speeds back home with the box open.
Yes, because here's the problem. When it's not sitting there for 20 minutes in a box, the crust, it bleeps up the crust.
Yeah.
And the crust is everything.
Don't even give me a box. I'll just take it home like that.
Yes. Give me a big pan.
Right on the plate.
A big pan.
Like a pan. I'll take the pan.
Smoking like a guy with a driveway. Doesn't have to worry about parking
Yeah.
after he picks up his
Dude,
pizza.
20 minutes looking for a spot.
Yeah. Whole pizza's
No,
cold by the time
yeah.
I park.
I call BS.
Why?
You remember me in the city doing the same thing. That's where this whole thing started.
You didn't have a parking lot? I thought you had a little spot.
I wasn't driving.
Oh,
I remember I would say I would walk.
Oh, all right.
Or I would tell bro, pick me up and then drive. You remember how many times I used to do that? Yeah, come on, bro. Like, stop. Like, we're gonna be a real pizza man. I'm a real pizza man.
My bad, I forgot. Like, I forget.
Yeah, come on,
I thought
VJ.
I thought you were a Kabasi guy.
He's a pizza man. Come on. You got to know that
He's
stuff.
a good pizza. Yeah, my bad.
Let's talk about the Bet Park Sportsbook
pierogies
online casino app. We have had movement. First time all week, there's movement.
Let's see if it's still there.
The Eagles have gone from a 1.5 point underdog to a 1 point underdog.
Still 1 point.
So it moved a 0.5 point in the Eagles' favor. That's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
All right? Big deal. Total still sits. Actually, that's dropped too, right?
Total is at 48.5.
48.5.
So if you slept on the tees, yesterday you would have had Birds plus 7.5. Now you're down to 7. It's a push.
Yeah.
You won't need it anyway. It's plus 100.
They're gonna win.
Even money
They're gonna
line.
win outright
Yep.
by double digits. Oh, yeah. 9.5. Lay the 9.5.
9.5 and 2 Jalen Hurts touchdowns, pace 12-1. 12-1. So $10. You can buy a few pieces for that.
Tomorrow, Friday, Andrew. I didn't realize my boy. So I texted Jason. I love Avant. Right?
Oh yeah.
Right. So ask Jason if he could do Thursday or Friday.
Yeah,
whatever
definitely.
day's best for him.
Yep, sounds
All right.
Cool.
Instead of me doing the whole thing, everybody can hear it. So I love
that
Jason and how he analyzes the game. And Danny's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I love bringing that stuff to you. Like these conversations are a blast. Of course, so is Parks Casino.
Yep.
And the Bet Park Sportsbook app. So we tell you about the line. There's 1,000,001 props to play for the big game. And don't forget, right? You got live dealer blackjack. All the slots you want. Craps, roulette. I mean, it's got everything. The Peaky Blinders, the Squid Games. They have all these different games.
Rocky.
Rocky, that's right. And Rocky 2, what happens?
Victory.
Rocky wins. Go to Parks Casino. That's right. Bet Park Sportsbook. BetParks.com has all the details for all the promos they have. You're a new customer, you get to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Just remember, you got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, joining us live from New Orleans, let's go down to NOLA for the locker room report brought to us by Trumark Financial Credit Union. Kelly, who will be joining us coming up. Z Berm in NOLA. Good morning, Z Berm.
Hey, good morning. Good talking to you guys. I'm right
That's
here.
what I want.
Yeah, right here on Canal Street. About any minute, you might see a streetcar coming down the street here. You got the Eagles team hotel, little in that direction. Behind me is the Chiefs hotel. So I just left the Chiefs availability, caught up with our old friend Carson Wentz for longer than he wanted to, and now I'll be speaking to everyone on the Eagles in about a half hour, but wanted to make sure that I didn't go back to like a dark room or something like that. I wanted to do this right on the street, so I apologize if you hear road noise around me, but this gives you a flavor of New Orleans.
That's what we want. It's what we want.
Z-Berm, I love it. It's cold and dank today, right? I look there. It's beautiful, sunny. What's it, about 70?
Yeah, it's in the 70s. It's nice. You can smell whatever they use to clean the streets from last night, and it's beautiful here. And I'm just waiting for more people from Philly to come over the next few days.
Yeah, well, we'll see the influx. You know how it works. You've been there before, so you'll see. Usually by Thursday, everybody arrives Thursday morning, and that's when it usually kicks in. Some people Wednesday night, but usually Thursday morning is when everybody kind of hits. Hey, what did Wentz say? I'm curious. Anything interesting come out of his mouth?
Yeah, he talked about how he can't look back at how it ended with the clown. The injuries are obviously something that comes to mind. 2017, he talked about the different experience and the bittersweet emotions of 2017. You win the Super Bowl, but you're dealing with the knee injury. He talked about just kind of where he was at his life at that point. In regards to playing the Eagles, he said most of the guys he was close with aren't even on the team anymore. He's played them before, so that element of it has gone away. He knew this was coming. He joked that we used to do this every week, he and I, because he was just kind of entertaining my curiosity with all different types of questions, relitigating the past, of how he's grown up. He's moved on from it. He says that there's a difference between kind of being at peace and making peace with it, right? And he's kind of made peace with it. There are human emotions that are included in looking back at how it ended. I shouldn't even say how it ended, but just everything that happened in 2017 with the way he was playing, and then that back injury in 2018, the concussion in 2019, the first drive of his first playoff game. And then, 2020, he was talking about just with COVID, how weird of a year that was. He didn't want to get too deep on it, but he's moved past it. But he hasn't moved past it this week in the sense that he's a bunch of people like me bringing it up to him.
Well, did he cop to anything? Like, when the Eagles are going on their Super Bowl run, we all know the reports and everything else about how, Darren Sproles and, his own mindset. Did he cop to any of that stuff? Like, did he cop to there's a reason why Howie had to jet him, man. Like, he was difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
He was difficult from his quarterback's coach. We remember how he used to complain about that. Like, did he take any responsibility for, how he was?
That wasn't the sentiment that he was conveying at all. It wasn't necessarily taking responsibility. It was more trying to move on from it, like how he was talking a lot about, leaning on his faith and how important that was during that period. So that was more his sentiment than anything else, having perspective now that he didn't have then. But I even asked him at one point, I said, the injuries were out of your control, obviously, but the desire for a fresh start, in hindsight, do you do you still think that was necessary? Do you still think that was the right decision? And he asked me what I meant by that, and I explained it, and he said he doesn't really look at that. He said hindsight, you can always look at things different ways, but he's fine with how it happened.
He still irritates me. Just what Zach's saying that he said he's irritating.
Yeah, he'll go down, Zach. I don't know if you agree, but I loved him coming out of college. I as a prospect, I loved him. I thought he had size, he had athleticism, he had a big arm. Like there were so many things physically to like about him as a prospect. And he just had a lousy attitude, man. He had a bad attitude. He was not, I think he was his own detriment. Honestly.
Yeah, look, I would agree with you in the sense that I also recognize everything changed for him overnight, right? I mean, I've been in Bismarck and I've been in Fargo, and you go from there to Philly at age 23, and you're the face of the franchise. And then he had, success pretty quickly, and then he gets hurt and he sees the backup quarterback win it. Look, I can't put myself in his shoes with the emotions that go on there. But I do think in 19 and in 18, 19, and 20, there are things that he brought upon himself. And I think there's a certain amount of, I have no doubt he's physically tough. Like he played through a lot of things, but I think there were things that he could have handled better for sure. And I think too, the way he responded to Jalen getting drafted, I think that's kind of a black eye on him. And if he and I had like an honest conversation, I would probably say that I think kind of his reaction to the Jalen pick wasn't productive.
Yeah. No, you're right. And look, I also think I understand the piece when Foles wins it, and there's a period of time he rushed back from the injury, then he had the broken bone in the back. I get it. Like he got hit a little bit. But then there should have been the reset, right? And the reset with the mindset. And that's one thing he didn't do. Like he never reset his mind and went to work. Like he didn't work. Like that was one of the things. Like he made mistakes that were stupid mistakes that should have been beyond him at that point of his career. And I know that's one of the reasons why they were done. I mean, Doug, the whole idea of him and Doug not speaking. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that he wore too much in the sense that he tried to do so. He wanted so much control. He always talked to me about how he had this alpha exacting personality. And I think when in 2017, that was to his benefit. And thereafter, I think it was to his detriment because I don't think he necessarily responded the way that he needed to or the franchise needed to. And look, people respond to pressure different ways. And when you get a $127 million contract and you're trying to prove that you're still the guy you were before the injury, a lot can play on your mind as well.
Will he ever start again?
It's a good question. That came up quite a bit from, there were New York reporters there asking about the concept of being a bridge quarterback. He says he feels great. He hasn't been hit in 2 years. He said he had this year, obviously, in Andy Reid's offense. So he'll see what free agency brings. Wouldn't surprise me if he gets the chance to compete somewhere as a bridge quarterback. Seeing what happened with a guy like Sam Darnold this year, but I don't anticipate him getting the keys to a franchise again, unless he goes on a great run. I mean, he's not old, but he says he's physically the same. As you know, probably better than I do, Anthony. He dealt with so many injuries, and part of his game was he was physically like really special. And I don't know if he's I don't know, but I do wonder if he's lost that part of his game.
Yeah. Hey, curious, Eagles wise, Jurgens, Dickerson. We were just talking about with Danny Klecko. Well, obviously, they're practicing and they're listed like it's fine. They're going to play. Any kind of lingering? Like, what do you know about their health in general? Like, is that something where it could bite them again, or are they going to, you confident that they make it through the game? Where are they at there?
Yeah, I would be confident that, well, they're clearly in a better spot than the championship game, and that they'll make it through the game. I know Nick's kind of kept those guys off their feet for the past week and a half, so they've had ample time to rest. Actually, today will be their first practice since, for those two guys, their first practice, really since the championship game. So I think that the time benefits them. When you're dealing with injuries, it's clearly something. A back injury at center is never good, but from every indication I get, they'll be good to go and they'll be able to play through it.
What's your sense of, you just came from Kansas City. I think the consensus is the Eagles are a better team. Obviously, the Chiefs are, on their road to their, they're dynastic. What's the sense that you got around them when it comes to looking at how good the Eagles are?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think there's a lot of respect for talent on the Eagles roster. You see the street car behind me, by the way.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's great.
For the talent on the Eagles roster, for the season that they've had, for this run that they've been on since the bye week, I think there's a recognition that this defense is playing better than they did the last time they saw. I was there for Mahomes today speaking, and Mahomes had real high praise for Vic Fangio, called him one of the great coordinators, called him one of the best coordinators, said that he knows that Vic will bring something totally different than what he's seen in the past in the games against Vic. And I do want to say too that there's this sentiment of of Vic Fangio's record against Mahomes. You keep reading that. A lot of that had to do with the wins losses when the Chiefs had bad quarterback play. Oh, I'm sorry, when the Broncos had bad quarterback play. So you look at the way the defense played. Right. Yeah, the defense wasn't that bad relative to other games that Mahomes has played. But yeah, I mean, look, today was my first day around the Chiefs. I spent more time around the Eagles this week. I can tell you for sure that I sense a difference with the Eagles team than in 2022. I mean, this is definitely not a happy to be here team, right? And not to say they were in 2022, but there were so many guys in 2022 who, like, it was their first time there. I think the big sentiment I get is like, this is, I don't want to say it's kind of like, when I've covered the Chiefs in past Super Bowls or the Patriots in past Super Bowls, but it's a team that's not impressed with being here. That's one thing that's really jumped in my mind from the coaching staff to the players.
I love it. Z Berm, 2:00 today, and then tonight.
Yeah, 2:00, and then I will tweet out or X out whatever it is for the primetime show. I think the primetime show is 6:00 tonight Eastern time. But we will, So we'll be doing both. I have some good stories coming up in the next few days. We have Les Bowen here writing for us. We have some other good pieces coming up. I would tell all the viewers, check out the work Vinny Curry's been doing down here. It's really cool seeing Vinny interact with a lot of, we had Gerald McCoy on the show yesterday, and Vinny and Gerald, it was just like two friends talking, and that's real cool stuff. But yeah, I'll be on the set at 2:00, and the 2:00 show will be more, we'll see who's coming by. We'll see what players or people around the league come by on Radio Row. The 5:00 or the 6:00 show rather will be more breaking down the Eagles. When things die down on Radio Row, we'll recap the day then. So 2:00, 6:00, and check out all our stories on allphly.com.
Love it.
You eat anything good down there last night, Zach? What'd you do for dinner?
Yeah, I had a nice like barbecue shrimp dish last night. That was good. I had my first beignet of the trip. Not a huge beignet guy, but when in Rome, you got to, there was a little food truck that had that.
The beignets.
Yeah. But no, I mean,
anything's too buttery.
I think tonight, I hope I'm not getting ahead of myself or speaking out of turn, but I think Jamie wants to do a little, po' boy review tonight. So I think we'll find a good spot.
Oh, Napoleon House.
And we'll review the best po' boys.
Napoleon House. Napoleon House got some good po' boys down there.
Yeah, there's a place I tried in the past called Mother's. which is
Oh
a
yeah,
good
yeah.
spot.
Mother's is solid too. Yeah.
Mother's is
yeah.
very good. Yeah.
So so we'll do some Po' Boy reviews tonight, and knowing Jamie, I think he'll want to make his way to Bourbon Street as well. So look for some behind the scenes content as well on our YouTube channel.
I love it.
Nice.
I love it, Z Berm. Great stuff, my brother. Appreciate
Appreciate
it,
it,
pal.
guys.
Be careful.
Thank you.
There
Yep.
he is, Z Berm live. You saw the
Oh,
streets
dude.
of New Orleans.
Ooh, there's some chaos. The woman spelled
The
coffee
lady
on
behind
herself,
him,
and the
yeah.
dude stood up with more coffee. He looked like he was like doing calisthenics behind Zach, then creeping up. Someone said he looked like he's going to steal Zach's wallet.
Yeah. What was going on back there?
There's two
Yeah.
a hot mess.
Yeah. Oh
All
my
kinds of
God.
coffee drama.
They're in party mode, man. They're ready.
Hey, by the way, Kelly, our game balls brought to us by Xfinity Mobile. It's right, our game balls coming up, and these are the players to watch. And then we're going to visit with our dear friend Kelly Botti from Trumark Financial. But our game balls, hello, Kelly.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Look at that.
Oh, that's a great just off the bat. It's legit,
No,
right?
it's legit. We jar once a year.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fantastic.
My sister makes it.
Oh, that's great.
I'm the
How's your
maid.
nonna?
Oh, she's so good. I love her so much.
Tell the story. You got to tell the story
Which one?
about the
About
lawyer.
45.
Kelly,
Oh, this is a good one. Yeah.
Kelly's the best, right? So
Thank you.
Kelly's grandmom is like this beautiful old Italian woman, and she's so proud because Kelly's the lawyer of the family.
Yes, yeah. So when you come from like a family where you're first generation and you're the first one to like go to a 4-year college and do all that stuff, like I was a nerd, like growing up, like mega nerd, right? Always in a book. My grandmother was always disappointed in me because I never cooked. I never like did anything, right? I was a huge family disappointment. So I had to do something with my life. And so my grandmother is so proud that I was a lawyer. When I graduated law school, I gave her my diploma, right? Because she went to 5th grade 3
That's
times
so
in
beautiful.
Sicily, right? And then when I became a CEO, I said, Nana, I became the CEO of a company. And she goes, what? You no lawyer no more? No, you a lawyer. That's it. Like it brought great shame to my family. It's very upsetting. It's still to this day. Whenever she like meets somebody like in her little nursing home, she's like, "This is my granddaughter. She's a lawyer."
How great is that? Like the fact that she's a CEO.
No.
I can hear it.
It's
I can
shame.
hear them.
It's shame. It's nothing but shame.
That is
That's
so
it.
great.
That's it.
So let's talk about Sirianni.
Oh,
All right.
I got a lot to say today. Okay,
Because
let's
like
go.
here's something interesting.
yeah.
Because Kelly and I would text all the time about the game, like about what's going on
Mhm.
early in this season. And Kelly being a CEO, being in a leadership responsibility, we talk a lot about leadership, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we would talk a lot about Sirianni early. We would have a lot of text messages about that. All right?
Lot of discussion around Sirianni's
So,
leadership. Yes.
Tell us from there to now what Sirianni has done as a leader.
Yeah. I appreciate this question a lot because what I think was most transformative this year was his realization that his success will depend on his ability to be the person that his team needs him to be. And so when you're a leader, right, like your responsibility as a leader is like you are responsible for meeting a person where they are and then earning the right to take them where they want to go. Right. And
Wow,
so, my
so
coach says that.
getting that trust, right? Like
You have to have the trust and you have
Yeah.
to earn that respect. Right. And I think what you saw last year was, he led with such bravado last year coming off of the 2022 Super Bowl. Right. He felt like big in his britches. He felt like he was the reason for the team's success. Like you could tell that in his coaching style last year. He started off the season with the same tone.
What was it more like because the slide happened, right?
Right.
So it felt like he was coming at
He
it
lost
from
his
more
team. He lost
of
locker
a
room.
defensive standpoint. Now I will tell you, it's interesting because his players love him.
Yeah.
Right? Like they love him.
Yep.
But it felt like he was more defensive, not to his players, but to the media, right? To the critics, to all that stuff. He heard it, rabbit ears.
But watch him in game, right? When he was in game last season, right? He was performing. He was performative, right? So his players love him and connect with him as a human. But when you're in a game situation, your responsibility is to be what your players need you to be in that moment.
Right.
And I think what you're seeing now from the bye week on is he's now the coach that Jalen Hurts needs. He's right. So like you see maturity there.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is a quiet leader, right? Which is why he gets so much slack, right? He's not flashy. He's not big in media. He's not big on the high fives on the sideline. But you see that that quiet restraint where Jalen has the most confidence is when he can internalize because he's a mental quarterback.
Right. Wow, that's really interesting. Like it's very profound because he has toned it down or dialed it back. And you talk about performance. You know, VJ used to talk about it all the time because that would rub you the wrong way of performing, you know, the park ape, right?
Yeah. He was too, well, look at me. I had to be.
It was about him.
Yeah, it was all about him. You're right.
But it's interesting, Philadelphia, because in Philadelphia, we don't like look at me.
No, humility
It goes back to
core Philadelphia value. Core
Because you know why?
Philadelphia
It goes
value.
back to the Quakers.
And
the
true.
Quakers.
Bring it back to the
let's
Quakers.
go.
It's true.
Let's go back.
Like, what were the Quakers? But it was about conformity. It was about the group. It wasn't about me, singular. It was about the we, not the me.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's like when people think of Philadelphia, think of our sports fans, they think of bombastic, like we're always losing when we're winning, right? That's humility, right? So it's like, you know, everybody just, you have to really be from the city to understand why we are the way we are. And I think that's where Nick Sirianni's disconnect was, because up until that Super Bowl run, he was a big bombastic coach, but he wasn't a coach that was about him. That flipped the script last year, and he just needed a reality check. And what I'm happy to see is that he took whatever feedback he gained, because I'm sure he received it and applied it, which I think is great.
So
he was scared for his job.
Yes.
It took a while for him to
for
say he
sure.
had his job.
Yeah.
Brought in.
So
no doubt.
let's go to Howie Roseman, because he's another interesting case study, and he's more on your level as the CEO of the Eagles, right? He's the GM, right? The roster's under him. The whole thing is really under him from the football standpoint. He's the CEO of the football ops.
Yeah. So I think with Howie, what's really interesting to me is he always plays the long game, right? And so I think he's always building his team, not just for this season, but into the future and for continuity, which I really like about his style. And I like that in his draft picks as well. Like, I think he's always thinking long term. He's always thinking, you know, how the team can sustain excellence. And you see it over the last, 6-7 years. You see the method to his madness. You know, when you were saying in the show yesterday, actually, I think you were saying in the show yesterday, it was like you didn't like his early years, right? But I think that's because he builds for the long term, right? And so you wouldn't see that in the early years. Right. So like he has hit momentum, I think, more impressively.
For me, there was a part of him where he always had to be the smartest guy too, and find the JJ Arcega-Whiteside. And now he's like, SEC, Georgia, Bama.
I do think that part of that, I feel you. And I think part of that goes back to he had to overcome something, and you probably can relate to this, being a female CEO, right? In a banking world, very staid, right? Financial world, I should say, right?
Yeah.
So a staid industry that's predominantly run in a male world. Here's Howie coming in, who is not a football player, right? Was not a football coach, has to come in and get the respect, earn the respect of football people. And you know that right off the bat, this dude's a nerd. He doesn't have any bass in his voice. What's he going to tell us about football? Right? Like, there's just things.
He's got a great motor. Yeah.
That I heard, right? Like, I know a lot of those people. And as he grew in that organization and became his job, those football guys, like, they were like, yeah, come on, we'll put you in the locker type of thing. And I'm sure you had to deal with some of that from a different standpoint, being a woman.
Yeah, but like, this is the part of leadership where you have to block out the noise, right? You know what I mean? Like there's like I'm sure Howie knew that he had the intellectual capabilities of doing it, but you only prove it through your success, right? You only prove it through your decisions, right? And you also prove it through your accountability for your bad decisions. And that takes time. And you have to be willing to sit in the discomfort, because I believe that like when we fold under pressure as people who are outsiders in an industry, right? You're not doing any favors to who comes next, right? So you have to have the tolerance to sit in the boiling water, and it's hard. I mean, it's like when you're a leader in Philadelphia.
That's a great line. You have to have the. By the way, we thank you for watching on Fast. You will see us on YouTube as always. You have to be able to sit in the boiling water. Mm-hmm. I love that. That's a great line.
You can put it on a mug.
I really, it's true.
Yeah.
You have to. That's a great.
Yeah, and when you're a leader in Philadelphia, you also have to know how to take a shot to the face too, right? Like,
right.
I mean, like you get punches. When you lead authentic people, you get authentic feedback, right? And that's some of what you see in the Philadelphia leadership that we have in the Eagles, right? They have to be able to take fan feedback. They have to be able to tolerate sports radio. They have to be able to understand that you're not going to get any graces, right?
Yeah.
You're always going to get pushed to do something better and something bigger. And that's the case with our team too, right? Like I lead super, super real people, and you get their feedback in real time. Like they're not afraid to tell me things that are wrong or broken or need improvement. They advocate for something better. And like, that's the proudest thing that I can be as a leader, is proud of their ability to be their authentic selves.
And they care.
Yeah, they care.
But like that's the biggest thing, is like that you get people to buy in that care about whether it's the football team, the company, whatever it is, like that they care and believe and they want success.
Well, Philly's a vocational city. Like we're vocational about everything that we do, right? And so like we have work ethic, we have devotion. Like nobody just does their job here. Yeah. If you're from here, like you live it. You really live it. Like you're a plumber. You own. It's a part of your identity.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And that's the same how we are as sports fans. So I think that once
I can't believe you said that. So there's a friend of mine, Danny's plumbing.
Hey, Danny.
Right. So I remember I was doing reads for commercials for him, and Danny says to me, we were talking about. I'm like, explain to me. I need to know a little bit about what you do. Right. Like I don't know anything about it. Right. But to be able to convey the message, like what is it? It's like when I went to Trumark and I went to the branch, right, and saw it and hung with your people, and I got an idea of it. Like, oh, I got it, right, the whole thing. But Danny says to me, you know what? He goes, in the 1800s and early 1900s, plumbers were like doctors because you needed clean water and the whole thing because of disease. You would die. Right? Like, so plumbers had this respect. And he goes, I look at this, like my profession, as the utmost respect of like that meant life and death.
Yes.
And I that stayed with me. And I was like, that's awesome. Yeah. That you had that sort of, I want to win. And I look at my profession that way.
Oh, dude, if you have bad plumbing, your life's miserable. It's like so important to have running water and fresh water.
Right.
Yeah. So
I can make a good joke there, but I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but.
Hey. What would Nona think of that?
Yeah, she would not be
so will Nona come watch the game?
That's what she would say to me.
Putana.
Yeah. That's what she would do, I'm telling you.
So will Nona watch the game?
Yes.
Oh, get out.
Yes, she awesome. Will. She gets so nervous. So like she'll call me like my grandmother has Parkinson's. So so it's been her closing chapter of her life has been a painful one to watch because she's super independent. But she calls me all the time on Sunday. She's like, Kaylee, when is it the game? I'm like, 1:00. what channel is the game on? I'm like, okay, here we go, right? So then she'll probably call me 6 times on Sunday asking me if I'm okay, and then she does her prayers for the Eagles, right?
Oh,
Like,
beautiful.
Love that.
Oh, my God, I love it.
It's so cute. She's so cute. She has a little Eagles scarf that she wears.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's really cute.
What's her first name?
Maria.
Maria.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fabulous.
She's adorable.
That's
I
awesome.
know.
That's so
She's
cool.
great.
So, what will you do with your family?
Okay, so I have to have everybody who watches the game with me sign an NDA. Like that's the first thing, because I can't guarantee what comes out of my mouth at that time.
Now, you're a bigger Eagle fan, much bigger than your husband.
My husband's from New York.
I know.
Yeah, he's a Jets fan.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Horrible.
Actually, he tried to tell me today. He was like, "I'm an Eagles fan." And I was like, "You are not an Eagles fan." I said, "Do you care if we lose?" No, you're a front runner.
Yeah.
Right? I said, "Mind your own business. Take off the Eagles hat on your head and go wear your sad Jets jersey." Like truly. But I will tell you this, right? When we first met on our first date, we go out because we met at a bar, right? Like classy people do. And I said, "Hey,"
I met my wife at a bar too.
love that for us. Yeah. So I said, "Hey, who are your sports teams?" Because he says he's from New York. And I was like, "I don't interconference date." And he was like, "What?" So he's Yankees and Jets, right? He's Islanders and Knicks also, which I can forgive a little bit.
right.
But that's it. Yankees
You're
and
not
Jets are
the
fine.
same
Yes.
division, same
Yeah,
conference.
because as Anthony will tell you, is like I'm a very big Phillies fan as well. So
Loves
yeah,
the Phillies.
we'll go
Nice.
through it.
Loves the
Yeah.
Phillies.
Yes.
You love the Phillies.
I'm very
man.
disappointed in the lack of off-season activity, but we can talk about that another day.
Dude, you're gonna come in for opening day. We will talk
All right.
before the opening
Yeah,
day.
I'll come
Because I still feel good. I don't think they need it. They need a lot of change.
They need consistency and discipline in the bullpen.
Yeah,
I mean, at
at
bat,
bat,
not
right.
bat. Yeah,
I know
not
what you
bullpen, at bat. Like that's all it
Like,
is.
yeah, I could use one
Yeah.
more bat,
Mhm.
right, in the outfield. Right, I get that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Hey,
I
but
think
it's
a
not
center
over
fielder.
yet. I still think they have one other move in them.
I think you need someone at center field with a consistent bat.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
I
bottom-
agree.
yeah.
I agree with that. All right, so Sunday you'll have.
Sunday. Okay, so Sunday I'm going to my neighbor's sister's house.
Okay.
Very superstitious, so we just continue the traditions as we move forward. And I will just be sitting there pacing like an expectant parent for 4 hours. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Like now,
No,
will
it's
you
fun.
now ask the questions because you always ask the
Let's
questions.
go.
you
Let's
have-
The
go.
food, the halftime show.
Yeah, you guys do a nice spread of food.
Obviously.
Yeah, like oh, I don't know.
Oh, we got everything.
he's a lunatic.
Actually,
so.
before I walked in here, I was finalizing the menu and saying what I was going to bring
Yeah.
to the party.
Yeah.
So, like, we got a taco spread this time. We got
Nice.
things for the kiddos, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm bringing like some appetizers. So I'm doing some dips. And then my sister
I
is
love
going to make
dips.
cheesesteak stromboli that I'm going to
Ooh,
bring.
Oh, that's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she rolls.
I like. Yeah, that's
my
good.
sister's the cook.
Yeah.
I am the arranger.
What are your dips? I'm a big dipsman.
So, are you?
Yeah, I love them. I
Okay.
usually have like 4 or
Dips
5
is
dips
it.
out.
Okay. So I'm making this like tomato feta dip
Ooh.
and then a spinach and artichoke dip.
Love the spinach
And my
artichoke.
sister, if she's listening, I need her to make me a sourdough bread for the weekend, so I can put it in the bread bowl.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
it.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, she'll make a sourdough bread.
You don't have no idea. My sister made a sourdough turkey for
Oh,
Christmas.
my God.
She's for Thanksgiving. She's excellent.
Oh, that's
She's on
awesome.
another level of cooking.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I sit there and just eat. Like
Yeah.
I call her and I'm like, "Hey, it's Sunday. I'm hungry." And she's like, "Come on over." We live a half
that's
mile from
great.
each other.
You watch,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
you watch the halftime show?
Sometimes I don't know. It's gonna for this year. It's gonna really depend the state I'm at halftime. I might need to take a walk.
Oh.
Get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna really depend. I don't know. I'm not super excited about the halftime show this year.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, I love I love it all. I love
You love the
all the big
experience?
show. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in.
You got to get down to New Orleans.
I'm in.
Let's go.
I don't want. No, I'd like to be at a Super Bowl, but
Get this
if
guy
the
a PJ, okay? Like,
if
come
the
on.
Eagles
He's got to get
are
a private
in it-
jet down to
Nah,
New
if the
Orleans.
Eagles are in the Super Bowl,
I
I want
gotta
to be
get
home.
Bob.
Me too.
I want
I'm
to be
the
on
same-
Broad Street
I gotta
later
get
that
Bob
night.
for
the
that
same
for
way.
the PJs.
Yeah. Call him.
Bob Marino has
Yeah.
the PJs.
Yeah, call him. But no, I'm with you. Like, I didn't want to be anywhere but
Yeah,
our
I'd go to
area.
a Super Bowl that the Eagles weren't in, and I'd want to experience that. But the Eagles, I want to be near
Okay.
Broad Street, just
Yeah.
in case.
And it's also just like a lot
just in
to be
case.
with
You're
people.
never gonna win.
I'm also big about like being with people that aren't fans.
Yeah.
Like, like when you're watching it with people who don't also root for the same team, it's a very upsetting
all
thing.
funny.
That's why I disinvited my husband to the Super Bowl party.
Nice.
Good move. Solid move.
I gotta tell you, I hate it. I hate everything about the Super Bowl, the halftime show, the commercials, and I'm with you. Like, I don't want ridiculously stupid conversation. Like, just talk about
there's
the game.
no banter.
Right.
There's no banter. Like, you're going to see me pace back and forth.
Right. That's what I expect.
Right. Yeah.
I was talking to my buddy. It was funny. Last night we had to coach the game.
Stay in the same spot. If they score a touchdown, I won't move for like 10 hours. That's how it is.
So we coached basketball together with a friend of mine. And he was saying it last night. He goes, dude, in 2018, it's, how that game ended, right? It's like there's 3.5 minutes left. And my sister-in-law is talking about Disney and how, it's expensive and this and that. And he goes, dude, when you're like...
It is expensive.
Well, like, when you're like looking at and you're watching and you're not hearing it, and all of a sudden it dawns on you. And he goes, I turned to her and I went, listen, you got to give me 3.5 minutes, all right? You got to...
That's nice. I would have locked her in a closet.
Right?
Like, no, truly. I watched 2018. 2018, I watched by myself.
Yeah, I respect that.
I was like, I could not handle it because in 2005, I broke my hand when we lost the Super Bowl because I punched a wall. And actually, I will tell you.
This is why you got to go to Trumark.
I will tell you this. That's how I got hired.
You have to be a member of Trumark Financial Credit Union because this woman is the CEO, all right? That she broke our hand on a wall because of Jacksonville.
That's how I got hired. My colleague Vince, right? He's our CFO. He hired me. I was a young baby attorney at the time, and we met and we were having lunch, and I showed him a picture. It was a picture of my son wearing an Eagles jersey, and he goes, "Oh, you're a big Eagles fan." I go, "Yeah." I was like, "See how my middle finger's crooked?" I was like, "I punched a wall when we lost the Super Bowl," and he goes, "You're hired." Truly. Hi, Vince. Go Birds.
I freaking love it.
Yeah, that's who we are. That's who we are as a community. It's really fun.
It is. And it's true. It is such, what I do love is when the city goes on these runs.
Yeah.
And we are together as a people, right? The community, it's beautiful, man. Like, being out, whatever it is, all day long. You run your errands, you're going to work, you're going to Wawa, you're going to school to pick up the kids, whatever it is. Everybody's got an Eagles thing on, and you just go, guy had a great jacket.
Go Birds. Yeah.
Guy had a great jacket. I mean, Wawa yesterday, got to get gas to go in. Guy's got a great jacket. I go, dude, that jacket. And he went, oh, thanks. Go Birds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? And you feel like a connection.
Mm-hmm.
You've made that connection. We are so close.
Sunday morning in Wawa, I actually said this to a partner of ours. They were trying to they were helping us do some stuff with our digital environment. And I said, hey, I was like, here's what I want you to do. You want to really understand Philly? I was like, come with me to a Wawa on Sunday morning of an Eagles game, right? It is religious.
Yes.
It's a religious experience, right? You know what I mean? That's how it is. The thing that I regret the most is that Wawa has moved to checkout kiosks.
Yes.
Right? Because you lose the extra Go Birds there.
VG, you know
they
how I
should put
feel
it on
about
the screen.
You know how I feel about that, about the kiosk or Easy Pass.
Yeah.
I don't do Easy Pass.
We don't do it. You don't do Easy Pass?
Exactly.
Yeah, he does not do it.
Exactly.
No,
In
Anthony,
fact,
that's a problem.
No, here's why.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to embody it. Cedric the Toll Man.
Okay.
All right? Every morning.
He's got this toll guy he likes.
Yeah, because he's the only person that passes through the booth.
Very true.
We talk every day.
He puts his car in park. Puts his car in park.
You heard the honking in the back.
At least 5 minutes.
You've heard it. You've been on the phone.
I have, yeah.
You've heard it. Yo, what happened? You can do a chapter and verse.
Oh, yeah. You guys have a long conversation.
Yeah, talk about the Eagles,
The Eagles,
Phillies,
yeah.
5, 6ers.
Right.
The whole thing.
Right.
You
pay cash when you go through this?
Yeah, I pay cash.
It's like a
I
foreign
know.
concept
Who
for
has
me.
cash
Yeah,
these
thank
days?
God you have a membership with us.
Yes.
Right?
Because here's the thing. I want to connect with people. I like that.
Yeah.
Even if I don't get Cedric and there's somebody else, there's a million of I know them all. The men and the women of the toll booth. I love their hey, have a nice day. And we talk. Like automated stuff is bad. You take the human love out of it.
Yeah.
By the way, Mr. Uncle Frank.
Oh boy.
My Uncle Frank?
No, you have an Uncle Frank?
Yeah, of course. I'm Italian.
Is it the same
Right.
Uncle Frank?
Right. So we have an Uncle Frank
My
who
godfather.
watches the show.
Okay.
All right. He said, "My God, Anthony, Kelly, every man's dream."
Oh my God, I'm gonna blush.
Oh, man. From Uncle
Uncle
Frank.
Just said
Thanks,
that.
Uncle
Well, Frank's a player, too.
Yeah, Uncle Frank.
He's cool.
Shoot your shot, buddy.
He should call in.
That is fabulous. I love it. So give us a prediction.
I think we win this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel. Actually, I'm gonna knock away.
I love how you are. She's not no bravado. That's a thinking woman's answer. Like I think we're going to win. Like that confidence, but not overly to offend the gods. Like it's the appropriate amount of belief. Like I sense a belief in you.
Yeah, I just think there's I know we were talking yesterday. You guys were talking yesterday about the Chiefs being tired and old, and I don't ever underestimate like the capability of that team, right? And I really don't underestimate Andy Reid.
Right.
Like he's an incredible coach, right? I do think that the Eagles have a mentality right now that is so disciplined and they're so studied, and I think that they've learned enough from the 2022 game to understand that the game's going to be won in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
It's going to be up to the minute. I disagree with you. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Right.
I don't, because I think that they're going to fight.
Well, we talk about it for the odds purposes. That if you lay 9.5,
Yeah.
you as the financial person, you get 4-1 back.
Right. I mean, fair.
Like
you know,
can see
again,
it. Like if,
yeah.
if
Right.
anybody's going to win by double digits, it's the Eagles, not the Kansas City. Kansas City's been one score game.
No,
for the whole
agree.
season.
I agree with you on
Yeah.
that. I agree with you on that.
So
But-
I just think it's better than 4-1. Like one out of I think there'll be 2 out of every 5 times, not more than 1 out of every 5 times that the Eagles could win this by double digits. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does make sense.
So
I just
therefore
don't
it's
think that's
worth-
what's going to happen on
Right,
Sunday.
right. I got you.
And I just think it's going to be. I think Devontae's going to have a big game.
You know, I could see that. I could totally see that.
I just think he's going to have a big game. He hasn't run off
yeah.
this whole season. He's been playing that real nice, short, tight game. I think he's going to have a big game. That's my prediction.
Here's the thing for
Saquon's predictable.
right.
Right?
I agree.
I mean, he's unpredictable in like the best
but for
ways
Devontae
possible.
to have a big game,
But Devontae, I think, is going to have a big game.
so for Devontae to have
And
a
you
big
know
game,
who else I think is going to have a big game? Q.
oh, I love him. I love that kid.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah, we had Vinny
him.
Curry interviewing him the other day. Remember? The kid's so calm. You know, Vinny's like, I love it. I ain't like big bombastic, right? And Q's like just
Yeah.
cerebral, calm,
Just,
unflappable.
That's the vibe of the whole
Yeah.
team. Like I know everybody's
I'm a
making
Cooper man too. I
everyone's
like
making
that.
fun of
Those 2 kids. I
Yeah,
love
they're
them.
like oh, inner excellence. Like you know
Yeah.
what? I'm like no, like that's the vibe. That book symbolizes the vibe of this team right
Yeah,
now. They're
yeah.
just disciplined.
But to get back to your point about Devontae Smith,
Tell me,
for him to have a big game,
Jalen's got to have a big game.
Yes.
And I think truly this is going to be his career defining game.
This and you know, there's a lot on the line for him in that way.
Yeah,
like
no, I
it's
agree.
obviously he's Saquon, it's you know, play within the offense, right? Like you don't need to go throw 30 times, go throw for 300 yards, that sort of thing. But he's going up against a really tough DC.
Mhm.
Now, I know how they played 2 years ago. It's different than it was 2 years ago. The RPO, they were really dialed in RPO.
100%.
Right?
Yes.
And the rules were different, right? They didn't call the illegal man down the field
Correct.
stuff.
Which is the stupidest call
Exactly.
ever.
I
But
know.
that's
I
besides the
know.
point. We can
But
talk about
that
for
is
2
a big
hours.
deal, right?
Yeah.
So for Devontae to have a big game, Jalen
Yeah.
is going to have to go through more than just one read.
Jalen is going to have to be okay with risking a turnover.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
has to be. And that's
Yeah.
the fear that he has. Because I think his turnovers haunt
Because I
him.
think they told him too.
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
they put it in his head.
100%.
Like you got it.
Yes.
No turnovers. No
but you're
turnovers.
starting to see it like when you like this
He
playoff
played
season.
great in the conference.
Oh,
championship.
unbelievable.
He
but
played
like
great.
but what you're starting to see too is confidence start to come back.
Yeah, I agree.
He ran the ball, right?
Yeah.
He took some reads. Now listen, as Anthony will tell you, I text him almost every Sunday, like, roll right. Why are you rolling right every single time? Like, I go crazy about that. But I do think if the offensive line can hold him long enough, give him some confidence early in the game, I think you're going to see a big second half from Jalen and a big second half from Devontae.
I like it.
Hey, Kelly, let me ask you. Did you see the Acme schism yesterday?
Yes.
Did you see this?
Yes.
I'd like to know how you would react as a CEO. So Acme in Havertown was selling these like cookie cakes.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
That said, "Go Taylor's boyfriend."
Yeah, like honestly, the fact,
like as a CEO, and you get wind of that.
I am offended when anyone on my team wears anything other than an Eagles jersey, to work. Like, right, when we say like, hey, you gotta you're gonna come in with like some like Philly pride on Friday, Saturday, lead up to the game. Like, anybody comes in with a Dallas Cowboy jersey, we got issues. Okay, we got immediate issues. Like, that is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And you know what? Taylor is a traitor.
Yes.
Okay. This girl is from Philadelphia. She wrote a song where the Eagles are referenced
on her wall poster or something.
Like,
yes.
And listen, I want to say this, peace and love. I love Taylor. She's gotten me through many, 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 many hard points in my life. Her music speaks to me. But this weekend, she's dead to me.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that.
We had a parent.
I'm going to go on a Taylor Swift blackout.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We
Right?
had a
That's what we
parent
have
who was
to
not
do.
allowing his kids to listen to Taylor Swift this week. There's
No, that's
Taylor
where I'm
Swift
at.
announced.
Yeah, I'm going to go dark.
No good.
I'm going to go
Nice.
dark on every album.
I like that. Good. All right, we're going to make you do this. We have to do the Xfinity game ball. Xfinity Mobile, all right? Game ball. Now, this is the players to watch. So give me one on offense and one on defense.
Well, I already just told you.
All right, so you got Devontae Smith.
And I said Quinyon Mitchell.
Here you go.
I was like,
That's
cute.
I'm good with
Though
that.
I do think Cooper DeJean is really amazing
He
too.
is.
I really like
He's
watching
terrific.
him. So,
All right, I love
it. Those are my two.
That's your
this
Xfinity
weekend.
Mobile game ball.
Yes.
We got it. Fantastic.
Love it.
Who are yours?
I'm
Are
giving
you not
out
allowed
all
to
the
say?
week. Yeah.
I know you said two. Yes, I want to know who yours today.
Well, a couple things. One, I think Jalen Carter is.
Oh, love him. I love him.
He is going to be
love
paramount because they're
Is there
going to.
anyone on TV you don't love?
Well,
everyone you mentioned.
Jake
you're like,
Elliott?
I love him.
I was gonna say,
Elliott.
Jake Elliott is not in my
Yeah.
great graces right now. That's because I
The
really
deer.
I love
Gotta keep it real.
consistency. I love consistency and reliability as a leader, and he's not demonstrated that.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Can't kick. You can't kick field goals more than 50 yards. You got to go for it.
I think he's gone.
Yeah.
So I
agree with you.
I don't think he's salvageable unless he has some like crazy game this week. But I don't think it's going to be.
Let's hope we don't see
I don't
that.
think it's
No,
going to be.
I don't think you will. I think
I don't think they trust
Nick
him
will go
enough.
for. No.
Put him in the closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake the
Extra
deer.
points. That's it.
What'd you say?
Jake the deer.
Yeah.
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 Extra points. All right. That's going to do it for us. Our Rite Aid back in the day moment. What do we got?
Yeah, we got something. We're going to go back to our Super Bowl past for halftime shows.
Oh, God.
Oh wow.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
your worst nightmare.
This is
Yes.
one that VG sent me,
Oh my God.
and I wanted to show it here. You know about this picture, right?
Was it the picture or the video?
It's the picture. I got the picture.
From
With the
today?
pixels?
This one.
Oh.
That is your first
Wow.
halftime performer. 1974, maybe? Carol Channing.
Wow.
Who's Carol Channing?
Exactly. Who
She was
the
the
heck
Taylor
is
Swift of the
Carol
day.
Channing?
Better than Rihanna.
She was the Taylor
Are
Swift
you
of the
kidding
day.
me with that hot take? Get out of here. Get out of here.
No, better.
Oh, my God. Look at that.
That's your first celebrity performer at halftime.
Carol
Wow.
Channing.
What did she
Uncle
perform?
Frank know about
I don't know.
Carol
There's no
Channing?
video of it.
Wow. We got to
weird.
find
Yeah.
out. We got to find out.
All right. There it is. All right. That will do it. Hey, quick note. Tomorrow, Yards, 5th and Spring Garden. Friday, we will be at Grand Cafe L'Aquila, right there on Chestnut Street between 16th and 17th. Both shows, 11, will start at 11. We'll probably go to around 2, right? So 11 tomorrow at Yards, Friday at Grand Cafe with L'Aquila, which means, what's L'Aquila mean in Italian?
L'Aquila? I don't know.
Eagle.
It does?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know
Eagle.
that. Okay.
And on Saturday, Primo's Clarksboro, all right, at noon. So that's our schedule. Everybody, let's get through Wednesday, man. We got to get to this game. Have a great day. Thanks to Kelly and the great people at Trumark Financial Credit Union. VG, Frage, great job. Joey Moreau, great stuff. We love you guys. We'll see you in the morning.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
We all silly like the mayor.